Hey, Auntie, how are you? Happy Tuesday. Can you hear me? Happy Tuesday. How's everything going? Thank you. Hey, James, how are you? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day so far. I am thanking God for another day. I'm doing good, Auntie. I'm doing good. I had dozed off. I forgot to shower. Sometimes you take a shower, it puts you down. But I'm okay. It was raining here earlier. It stopped raining, but it felt good. It's very breezy, so I like the breeze better than all that sun. Hey, 777, how you been, baby? How are you? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Yes, I know everyone seen Nolan funeral yesterday, y'all. It was sad. Um, you know what was the heartbreaking thing for me, y'all? When the mom got up there and and said Nolan wanted to get married and he was gonna have three children, three girls, and she named the three girls. That was very heartbreaking. It really was. That was that was very heartbreaking. You know. I've been good. I have to take a break. Those stories, they make me so angry. Yeah, yeah, they do. They do. They can make you angry. That ain't no lie. That is so true. So, and I tell everybody, if you need a break, that's what you got to do. You got to always protect yourself, your energy, your peace, your mental. So, I definitely agree. I agree with everybody. Yep. So, I agree. So, y'all, we're going to get into this video. Hey, Brittany. How are you doing today, Brittany? Hope you are having a good afternoon. So, let's get into this video, y'all. I'm gonna play it and bring it up. I got another video too. I just can't find it.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things.
Y'all
It
put a
did
one in
come
the
off
chat
that
and let
day
me
that
know
he
if y'all
really
can
did
hear
like
me.
her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
We're sinking. Can you all please
Thank
tell me?
you,
And is
Brittany.
everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on play.
From our friends at GMA. No, everyone was not on board. Nolan was
Thank you,
not
Auntie.
on board. And who's the mysterious girl he met for the very first time the day
Oh, you
he
on waiting to
goes
clock in?
missing?
Okay.
His body spotted by the United Cajun Navy, washed ashore. We have obtained that photo. We are choosing tonight not to show it. That last sound from our friends at NBC joining me in all-star panel. But first, straight out to Todd Terrell.
Now y'all heard Nancy Grace says she's seeing that the body, right? Of course. I'm not surprised she's seeing it, y'all. She's an ex-prosecutor. You know what I mean? She's into the field, so she get all them prosecuting cops and judges and all of that stuff. They all friends mostly. They know each other, so I'm not surprised that she's seen it. But I will say this: whoever this person is sending around pictures of Nolan without his mother permission, that could definitely be a lawsuit. That can definitely be a lawsuit. Now, I don't know if the mother knows this, but that can definitely be a lawsuit. Okay, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be sending this someone's deceased pictures to other people, without the family's permission. So that definitely can be a lawsuit. Period. It definitely can.
representing the United Cajun Navy, participating in the water search for Nolan Wells. Todd, thank you for being with us. What did you observe?
You know, Horn Island, that area right there is an area that we have seaplanes that we operate back and forth to the island, taking people back and forth fishing, or oil field workers, you know, back off to rig.
I don't know, Brittany. I'm not sure. I think it is a reason why that the cast was closed. I don't want to say the reason because I really don't know the reason why. It could be varies of reasons, you know. Now I will say this though. Now y'all remember, I think that was last week when the nurses came out and said that someone contacted them and told them how Nolan body looked. Now the mother never debunked that. And I was sitting back waiting and see if she ever was going to debunk that. When the nurses said, you know, the person told them it looked burnt, this and that. The mother never debunked that at all. But a lot of things that was not true, she did come out and she did debunk a lot of things that was not true. Like the girl was doing all that stuff. You know, she said she never talked to the girl. She don't know the girl. When boys were saying stuff, she would let you know if she talked to them or she didn't. Did she know them? Now these two nurses came out. She never debunked that. So I'm wondering if that is true. You know? So you don't know.
Rigs and stuff. That morning, the body was observed on the northwest portion of Horn Island, which is not unusual for someone to drown and be washed up in that area. There was a park ranger that was on the island that actually had spotted the body, and we were calling in down to law enforcement officials on the
Yes,
ground
Brittany,
what
that
we
was
saw
very
from the air.
disrespectful the way they
Todd
doing
Terrell
it.
joining us from the United Cajun Navy, called in to participate in the water search for this young star athlete, Nolan Wells. Tonight, mystery swirling around his death. How is it that a group of his friends go out on a boat? They go to a remote Horn Island. There
Thank
is
you, Brittany.
nobody there. It's uninhabited. There are no phones. There are no bathrooms. It's just a hangout place. How does he end up dead on the shore and everybody else makes it back? I want you to hear one more time what the group is saying about that day.
They met that day, and it's kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they've ever hung out was at Horn Island on July
How
4th.
do you know if he really
From
liked
our
her?
friends at GMA, who is she? Where is she?
Yeah, who is she?
What, if anything, did she have to do, if there is a she, with Nolan's death? That's from our friends at GMA. Back to you, Todd Terrell. And I'm about to go to Caitlin Becker, a senior national correspondent at New York Post, on the story from the get-go. Todd, you stated
Yes,
to
Brittany,
me
yes.
that it's, quote, not unusual for bodies to wash ashore in that spot. What do you mean by that? Because if it was that common, wouldn't this be designated a dangerous area and there would be warning signs? What do you mean it's not unusual? I find that hard to believe.
Well, many areas along the coast of the whole Gulf Coast area is a dangerous area. You know, I don't believe they could put up signs anywhere. I think it should be known that these are bad areas. The rip current is very bad in that northwestern portion. We call it the.
So if you said it's a dangerous area and you don't think they can put up signs, why? If it's a dangerous area over there where y'all found the body at, why wouldn't y'all put up signs over there and say this is a dangerous area? Why wouldn't you? To save people's lives. That's what it's about. It's about saving people's lives. It's not about going out there and just have fun, you know, and y'all know y'all got a dangerous spot there. Y'all should put signs up and say, you know, be careful. This is a dangerous zone over here. What kind of? I don't understand what you just said because it didn't make sense to me. It's a dangerous area, and yes, a sign should be put up. You just admitted out your mouth that on that side where y'all found Nolan at, it is a dangerous area. So why not put at least 2 signs out there? That don't make sense.
Washing machine, actually. It's an area where the current just rolls round and round in there, like kind of like a washing machine. And one of the interesting things was where Nolan was found was probably pretty close to where the incident occurred. So the body didn't go that far.
Okay, what incident? Was there an incident? Are you
Right.
suggesting Todd Terrell?
Right.
Todd
Was it an
Terrell
incident? What you talk?
joining us tonight from the United Cajun Navy. Our friends, by the way, at the United Cajun Navy. They are called in on many, many missing persons case. Todd, you stated the incident. What incident? You mean he didn't drown?
We're saying that whatever happened, we're calling an incident. Our job as United Cajun Navy is to bring people home back to their families, first of all, alive, second of all, recover the body if possible. We knew in this case, the time frame that was involved, that we were looking for a recovery at this point. But when I said the incident, something happened to make Nolan not be with us anymore.
Right, James.
It appears as though it was a drowning.
Hey,
you know,
Ray.
there was a lot of rumors about him being brought back to the land 10 miles away and you know, brought back out there and dumped off. I don't believe any of that is true. Whatever happened in that water, we're calling the incident. You know, the water goes from 2 to 3 foot to like 20 feet real quick. You know, there was some underage kids out there drinking. It's an island, you know, there's no IDs being checked or anything like that. So when we said an incident, there's anything that could have happened. And not every person that drowns do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering. But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at the United Cajun Navy, the video taken from their aerial craft. On the beach, you see a
Brittany, have a good
grouping
day,
of
baby.
individuals.
Love you,
Now, from
sis.
another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body that we are not showing. It's just not right. But I can tell you, when you see that grouping of people on the beach, they look like little ant figures from this high up above, but that is where Nolan's body is. They're standing around it. As I recall, Todd Terrell,
Y'all heard what she
Nolan was
said? The
face
body's
down,
not right.
still fully clothed on the beach. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned. Now, when we say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was in the same vicinity of where he possibly drowned. You know,
You don't know if he drowned or
right
not.
there. So it was not uncommon for the body to have washed up right there. That being said, that area full of rip currents really strong right there, goes from 2 to 3 foot to 20 feet, pretty much within a couple steps. So that being said, whatever happened really close to where the body was found.
You know, Todd Terrell, I don't mean to be giving you a hard time. This is not about you. The
No, he
United
need to be
Cajun
given a hard
Navy
time.
are the protagonists in this scenario. You're the good guys. I've just got so many questions about how this happened. Was there anyone else on Horn Island when Nolan's body was found?
Now, there was the park ranger was out there, and there was some law enforcement officials that actually had their boats anchored out there. You know, they were kind of like waiting around for a call of what to do. What people don't realize is when you're looking for a body on the water, especially in the Gulf where you have waves going and you have white caps, it's a little bit harder to see. When you're in a boat, you can only kind of see the vicinity around you. So we put these seaplanes up in the air, we can get a much more visual of the much more bigger area. And these seaplanes can go low and slow. So what we do is we stay in contact with the officials on the ground and tell them what we see. And if they see something too, they can relay it up to us and we can go investigate it. So in this case, there were several law enforcement boats that were just kind of hanging out in the area on the island. And there was numerous other boats in the area, you know, circling and looking. But the body was found by a park ranger as it washed up on the beach.
You know, I'm very curious, Todd. Guys, joining us, Todd Terrell with United Cajun Navy. When I said, was anyone else on the island when Nolan's body was found? Your answer was completely 100% accurate, but let me rephrase and refine my question. You're saying the park ranger found him. That leads me to believe there were no friends. There was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies and then just conveniently washes ashore?
Right.
Somebody just left him out in the
Just
water.
left him.
Does that make sense to you,
No,
Todd Terrell?
it don't make sense to him.
Well, being a person that goes to this island and several other areas that you can only get to by boat. We have some restaurants and bars in Louisiana that you can only get to by boat, which means you have to hitch a ride with somebody on a boat or that has a boat to get there, which a lot of things could go wrong in that scenario. But as far as what we believe, I believe that Nolan went out there with a group of friends. They were friendly, obviously so, because he was even out there. I mean, you got to understand, to go to an island, you have to have a boat, which means you have to have friends, which you have to have people that kind of like you to even bring you out there.
What do you mean?
So when
Kinda
Nolan got
like
out
you?
there, the group of guys he was with, they decided to come in a little bit earlier. They were having some engine trouble in their boat, which is not uncommon. Happens a lot. Nolan, for whatever reason, decided to stay on the island, which is not uncommon. He could have, had this girl he was talking to. He could have just, for whatever reason, decided to stay. Not uncommon. That doesn't give us any reason to think foul play or anything was involved there. The issue is when he stayed on the island, he had to hitch a ride back in with somebody. And there's where the issue becomes, who did he hitch a ride back in exactly? How were these people connected to him? How did they know him? And it's not uncommon for you not to know somebody at all and just say, hey, I need a ride back in. They say, yeah, come on, get in the boat with us. So if I say, hey, Nancy, come on, get in the boat with us, that means at that point we're responsible for you.
But Todd, here's my issue. Again, I agree with what you said, but the critical moment is somebody had to leave him there alone for the rest of the scenario that you're describing to unfold. He had to be alone. And Todd, and I'm going to bring in the rest of the panel. I want you to hear this.
Domino's best deal ever now includes stuffed crust. What do you think of that, Fernando? Goal!
That is from Anna Moore on Snapchat, and you have to listen very intently to hear what she claims is being said. Todd Terrell, United Cajun Navy, please don't move. Joining me now, Caitlin Becker, the senior national correspondent at New York Post. She is the star of New York Post Cast. New York Post Cast, that's her podcast. Caitlin, thank you for being with us. Now, according to what this Anna Moore on Snapchat has revealed, you can hear, and this is also according to the attorneys, give me my effing phone. This is Nolan reportedly talking. What the F are you doing? The friend, they claim, Tristan Shepard. I can't tell that from what I'm hearing. The friend says, get off me. Get the F off this boat. F you, bro. Now, the voice we believe is Nolan's is, give my effing phone. What the F are you doing? And then another voice, get off me. Get the F off this boat. F you. Okay. What do we know? And Caitlin Becker, joining us from New York Post, who is this mysterious friend girl? Because I want to talk to her.
I want to talk to her too, Nancy. The video is tough. The
She said, "I
Snapchat
wanna
is
talk
really
to her
tough
too."
because you do clearly hear an angry altercation. There is the assumption that we're working off of that it is Nolan. However, a few other friends have confirmed it's not Nolan. There's actually someone who said it was me, not him. So you have someone coming forward saying that is not him on the video. So then did no altercation actually take place, or is someone jumping in saying that's me to misdirect or to redirect us from looking at it? That's the one question. The other question that you asked is, who's the girl? Her name is apparently, allegedly, Katie. That's kind of all we know, just Katie. Someone purporting to be related to Katie went on social media, and this is not something that we've been able to confirm, nor have investigators confirmed it. But according to this person, Katie said, we met, we talked, he seemed like he was going back on the boat with his friends, and that was that. So Katie.
Okay, hold on
Katie's
right
side of the
there.
story-
Caitlin Becker. Caitlin. Right there. the girl, if she exists, says they talked, they chatted it up, probably flirting with each other, if accounts are true. Then he leaves to go back to the boat with his friends. But according to the friends, he stayed with her. Right there, that is
absolutely.
a conflict.
That's true.
That doesn't fit. Now,
It's
Caitlin
either he
Baker and the rest of the
stayed
panel,
or-
I want you
and
to
he
hear
did
this.
not- was
Is that
getting ready to get
Nolan
back
in the
on that
video?
boat, like
I
Katie
can't
said.
tell, it's too far away, but in that video, I feel like the voices are too clear. Like from the side, it's too clear for it to be that far away, for it to be Nolan arguing. And then also that altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into an altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in that altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it.
Okay, so you've got, that's from our friend Harvey Levin at TMZ. So you've got half the people saying that is Nolan that's in an altercation and is getting thrown off the boat. And then you got half the people going, oh, no, that's not him. But to me, the clear problem is that critical moment where Katie, if she exists, says he went back with his friends, and the friends say, oh no, we left. He wanted to stay with her. Right there. That is the first conflict. Both cannot be true. Those cannot mutually exist in truth.
Yes.
They're mutually exclusive. He can't go with them and stay with her on Horn Island.
That's true.
Right there. John Mobley joining me, high profile lawyer out of Charleston, South Carolina. John, that's where it starts. That lie. I don't know who's lying, but somebody's lying. Right there, Mobley.
Well, I don't know that I would necessarily agree with you on that. I think they can.
And that's what I said about that party thing. That's why I never shared it, because I knew that was fake. Because the same way she said, how could he saying he gonna stay on the land, on the island, and then Katie said she's seen him walking back towards the boat. So somebody's lying, right? And then how could they call at 11 p.m. and said Nolan was missing, but being seen at a pool party at 1? That's why I kept saying that pool party was not true. It was the real party, but it wasn't that day. And I was right. It was a week prior to the 4th of July.
Can be both partially true depending on perspective. I think one thing we have to kind of keep in mind with this is we have a lot of different people telling things from different perspectives, from their own individual perspectives. It's certainly conceivable that he let his friend leave to stay with the female, if he was with the female, assuming that happened. And once he finished his communication or whatever he was doing with the female, told her he was leaving to go back with his friends. And from her standpoint, he said he was going back with his friends, which did not necessarily mean they were the same friends that dropped them off. So I would disagree with you on that.
Hold on. Mobley. Let me see Mobley. Mobley, you're right.
And then not only that, if he stayed back there with Katie, why would he try to get on another boat, a separate boat from Katie? So just asking Katie, well, Katie, let me ride on the same boat you're getting on, going back to the land. Why would he go on a different boat if he didn't know no one? If he was with Katie and the boat that Katie came on, I'm quite sure Katie was going to get back on that same boat that she went there with. So why didn't he get a ride from Katie? Okay, let's think about it.
Because, as I've told many, many juries, as a trial judge once always said
Hey, sis,
in
how are you?
his jury instructions, it is your duty to make all witnesses speak the truth and impugn perjury to no one. So actually what you're saying could be true. If there's another group of friends, if they exist, we haven't heard about them, but you're saying he left with one group and had planned to come back with another group. Okay. I don't know if you're just spinning that out, but that could be possible. Okay, Mobley, listen to this.
Maintenance fee, overdraft fee, minimum balance fee, maximum balance fee. Banking fees are just a part of modern life, or are they?
You said that you hear on the video Nolan saying,
yes,
my freaking phone, what are you freaking doing?
That's what a witness told us, and that's what we reported out. Then another witness has come forward and said, no, that was his voice.
We have other witnesses who said there were other altercations. So as Mr. Hurt said, we're trying to go through it all and so forth. And we'll be even more careful to say this is what a witness told us in the future.
And so your team hasn't been able to look fully into that to confirm whether it was or was not Nolan that said
Now,
that?
we have audio people doing it, but we know certain people said it was him, and there's certain people said it was not him.
That is our friend, high-profile lawyer Ben Crump. And the last thing you want is him 3 inches up your tailpipe, okay? That's from our friends at Fox 10. So this is where it stands. Who left him there? Is there really a Katie? Did he stay with her? Did he leave with his friends?
Right.
How did he end up there alone, which I find very, very disturbing. And also back to Caitlin Becker joining us, senior national correspondent, New York Post, star of NY Postcast. The Postcast instead of podcast, it's the Postcast. Caitlin, now allegations have reared their ugly head that his phone has been tampered with and items have been deleted. Explain.
They had his phone. And when his mother was looking for his phone when he was missing, there were two different ways to identify it, either Snapchat location or a Life 360 location. They showed different locations, which is very possible because one updates automatically, the other only updates when you open the app. But when she finally tracked it down, she says there was nothing on it from that day. And this is a teenager. This is a teenager who is constantly on their phones. Yes, when you're on a boat like this and you're out there, you leave it on the boat because you can't really get it wet and you don't want to have it come to the beach with you because you have to actually go in the water to get there. But to have the phone from these friends who didn't willingly turn it over, didn't give it to investigators, didn't give it to his mom, just had it, and for her to open it up and say, I see nothing from that day, no Snapchats, no photos. It looked like things were missing, like there was a gap in the timeline of the life cycle of his phone.
Okay, I've got another problem regarding his phone. Well, number one, to Dr. Janie Lacey, joining us, licensed psychotherapist, CEO of Life Counseling Solutions, author of, well, many books, but How to Heal from a Toxic Relationship, and she's the star of Let's Talk About It with Janie Lacey. Okay, Dr. Janie, who leaves their phone behind? Now, look, I just got off a boat with my twins. We went fishing all over the panhandle. We have what you call dry bags. We don't leave our boat. We don't leave our phone anywhere because what if we need it? What if we need it out in the middle of nowhere and we were on a little strip of land right off the Gulf where, like Horn Island, there's no people. We were there fishing alone, believe it or not, and we had our cell phones. Now, I'm an adult, a teen. What teen leaves their cell phone? None.
Exactly, Nancy. I have a teenager. His phone is with him in his pocket all the time, and he even brings his phone to the bathroom. So we know that teens do not leave their phone. It is their way to communicate. It is attached to them. So when I think about what we're talking about right here is, right, concealment. And I can't speak to what these young people did, but I can tell you, especially young people, when it comes to their phone and they're constantly posting things, it is their norm. So when it comes to deleting, hiding, or even going silent after a tragedy, to me, it's almost always driven by fear of potential blame, fear of consequences, fear of what the truth might mean about themselves. But we know that secrets don't protect. And when teens don't have their phone, or when their phone potentially is taken from their friends, we know that there's a reason behind that. It's usually driven by fear, Nancy.
Okay, I got another issue. Caitlin Becker joining us with New York Post. Caitlin, the Life 360.
Now, y'all, I did hear on another video that Kaylin's father, they was coming after her dad. And the dad came out and spoke once. After that, the dad deleted everything. I got to find that video. I have to find that video because I want y'all to see her dad. Ooh. And Mr. Willie went in on him, honey. Ooh, Lord have mercy. He went in on him. He don't trust him at all.
60 seems to show something very different than other digital evidence. What do you know about that discrepancy?
It comes down to location, where the Life 360 shows him on dry land versus where the Snapchat showed him in the water, where he was and where the phone was positioned. So that is something that I think forensic investigators have to look into, digital forensic investigators, because it's difficult to determine from looking at it from our perspective, where was the phone actually? Was it out on the water at the last time it was used? Was it on dry land at the last time it was used? And when his mom went to go pick it up, who was the last person to have used it? That's something that sticks out to me.
Wait a minute. It said it doesn't matter if they killed him or not. No one is not surviving that land without a boat. All you have to do is leave him. Well, it does matter if someone killed him or not, because you don't want nobody to kill your child. I mean, come on now. Let's have some sympathy here. I mean, you won't want nobody to kill your child. You know what I'm saying? And, if he had his phone, if he did get left out there on the land, if he had his phone, maybe he could have got saved. Still, because he had his phone, he could have called his mom, his dad. They could have made sure, called the rescue people. Someone could have came and got him. I'm not going to think like that, because if you don't have a boat, you're not going to make it. You're going to die anyway. I don't want to think like that. I don't like thinking. You know what I'm saying? I don't like put my thoughts into negative things, especially when it comes to a child, because this is a child. He was only 18 years old. So, I think if he did get left out there, which we don't know, he probably still could have been alive if he had his phone for some type of contact. He didn't have his phone at all, So I don't know. I just don't like talking like that, because I have an 18-year-old granddaughter in college. So I'm just definitely not going to speak that, like that. Because that's not the answer I would want if someone's called me and say someone killed my granddaughter on campus. That's not the phone call I would want. And that's not what I would want someone to say to me. Because saying something like that to me, I don't think you would get a good reaction out of me. I ain't even going to say, but let me just continue.
Because I have to imagine it was password protected, and why would someone else have his password? But it seems as though his mom did, or that they did, so they were able to get into the phone. So the timeline of his disappearance is a big question mark, because you're getting two different locations from two different apps.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. If you are a homeowner, you've probably thought, should I call American Financing to refinance and pay off this debt? But HTTP :
exactly remember what his location was showing, but my Life 360 location was showing something completely different. It was actually showing that his phone was like he was on land. And so we ended up, she received the phone from that parent.
So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. Like, I'm not. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
I've tracked my son 100 times when he's fishing, and it shows he's in the water.
You get on my fucking nerve.
When he's off the water, it shows he's on land.
Listen, Nancy is so right. Now, the other day, I think that was Sunday, Open Book had reached out to me, but I couldn't reach out to her right away back because I was in my phone, because my daughter was hooking up the Life 360 into my phone to track me. I can track her and my granddaughter. She added me to her. She said, Mommy, I paid. Don't worry about it. I got everything. I said, okay. Now, this morning, when my grandbaby was going to camp, it alerted me. It told me the address she was at. She was there. When my daughter got in her car to leave, it told me my daughter was driving, giving me the location where she was going. I seen everything this morning. I'm like, damn, this shit is cool. Because I didn't know it gets so deep like that. Also, my daughter did explain to me Sunday, it's a little pricey sometimes because it all depends on what package you want. So she got a big package. She paid a little good penny, she said, because say for instance, if her daughter go out of the country and something happened to her daughter, they will fly her daughter back free at charge because of the plan she get back. So my daughter explained a lot of things to me that you get out of that. But it will locate and tell her exactly where her daughter at, where was the accident. She get in contact with authorities. It tells her everything. It tells her everything. She explained everything to me. The killer in this case would be the 360 app. Really? Oh, I don't know. But anyway, let me yeah, so even if my daughter have if my daughter have an accident, whatever, it will let me know where the accident, where's the address, everything. My daughter even got it as though if she go out of the country somewhere and she lose her identity, like like maybe her birth certificate, social security cards, anything like that, they will pay to get it all back. She got a nice plan for it. She told me everything. She told me how it worked. She got everything set up. So it is a good, from what she's telling me, it's good. This morning, it let me know what she was on her way to. And that was work. So yeah.
The mom is right. You were just hearing Christine Wansley, that is Nolan's mother, from our friends at National Action Network and GMA. Okay, I got a big problem with the Life 360 and the phone data all not jiving. I could see it, John Mobley, being a few blocks off, but not the discrepancy his mother is describing. I'm not buying that. And another thing, while we're talking about discrepancies, John Mobley, do you have children?
I have children. I got Life 360. I use the iPhone location tracker. I will tell you, even though I'm not a digital data expert, that
now listen, y'all. The mama got 360 on his phone, right? On her phone to track her son, right? So I'm going from what I'm seeing on my phone. Like even when my granddaughter, like last night, I said, let me give y'all an example. Okay, like last night, my granddaughter phone was on 10%. And I'm not gonna say her name because she's a minor. It says tell such and such her phone is on 10%. So if my granddaughter's out somewhere, and because sometimes my granddaughter, Lord, she's still on her phone so much, Lord, her phone go dead, she don't even realize it. So her mom will call her and say, listen, your phone is on 10%. Charge your phone. She'll be like, okay, mommy. Right? So I'm saying that to say, being that Nolan's mom had that, she couldn't track his every movement while he was on that land, in that boat, like everywhere he went, when it came to her phone, to show her every move that he was making while he was in that water on that boat, even when he got to the island. Y'all help me out here now. And I'm new to this 360 thing because I'm just getting it Sunday, okay? But the shit is good, okay? Because damn, it shows me a lot. So wouldn't the 360 thing show Nolan's mom every move he was making, even if he went from boat to boat, right? When that came up under the mom, and the mom would have knew that, y'all just let me know.
Life 360 is not always 100% accurate. I mean, I think in general, you have to kind of keep in mind with all of these phones that, they're dependent upon the signal they're reaching, the coverage. I mean, as you know, you can have a group of people together, which means they're going to take up more bandwidth, and that's going to cause signal interruption. I think it'd be premature for anyone to try to interpret the data without an accurate digital download being conducted on the phone.
Oh, okay. I'm sure Life 360 and the iPhone industry is going to call you on that. I'm really surprised at this juncture, Mobley, that you'll actually argue with digital forensic evidence. But okay, who should I believe? You or the phone, the Life 360 and the iPhone tracker?
I want to be clear. That's
but
not,
that said, the reason I asked you,
evidence.
I'm hearing something, and it's you. Mobley, if you have teens,
okay, hold on, I'm gonna read your comment.
You should know about Snapchat. Okay. At the supper table, the two of us will go, did you see
They
so and
don't
so? I'm
want
like,
the
no,
mom
I
to
didn't.
know that.
And they go, oh, here's a snap.
Which
They
is
hold it up and
why
they go,
the phone
don't
went
touch
missing
it,
before
mother,
we got
or
to
it
the
will,
land.
I don't know, delete. I don't know what it does to it. But a
Got
Snapchat, you get to look at it once and it's gone. See, that's a problem forensically.
So basically, you saying that's why they try to delete stuff out of the phone because they didn't want the mom to like track it down to see what all his locations was while he was in the boat on the water. That's what you're saying. Because if you're saying that, that does make sense. Wow, that's crazy.
And law enforcement wise with Snapchat, because they're gone. Unlike a text or you send a photo or an email
Yes.
or you
Okay.
send a
Yep. That
video
makes
of
sense.
Alex Murdaugh that nailed his coffin, those stay. Snapchats disappear into the ether. So if the Snapchats aren't there, I can understand that. If
Yes,
there
Ray
are
Ray.
texts
Absolutely.
deleted, I don't understand that. Okay, let's hear you explain that digital phenomena.
Now I want to be clear. I want to just, go back to what you talked about earlier. You talked.
So, is there any way, y'all? Because I gotta ask my daughter. Because I told y'all I'm new to this. Is it any way that the mom can get back in it to see, or do y'all think when she said things was deleted out the phone? Do y'all think she was talking about that part too with the Snapchat stuff? Cause I see, I don't know how Snapchat work, y'all, because I don't have that app. Maybe y'all know how it work. I don't have Instagram. I got Instagram, but all them other sites I don't have. I don't have TikTok, and that's too much going on. I don't want all that stuff. That's too much to keep up with, y'all. Shit, I don't want all that. But now, I don't know if it's true, and y'all can tell me because I don't know. Someone said when you do stuff on TikTok, after a certain amount of hours, it disappears on its own. Is that true, y'all? Because I don't know. I don't have it. Let me see. What did she say? That's why. Okay. 360 have a tracker. Even if so, you destroy it. A phone still picks up the last location. So throwing the phone in the river would be a big mistake. Got you. Got you. Okay, no. Uh yes, Snapchat deletes in 24 hours. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know if that was true, and I heard somebody say that. So that's not like Instagram or Facebook or something like that. If you post it on your page, it stays there. Oh, that's kind of weird. Oh, okay. I don't think I would want no app like that. It'd be gone in 24 hours. That's crazy. But okay. I don't think I would like nothing like that though. I don't even know how to work Snapchat if you want to be honest, y'all. I'm not into too much social media stuff. Yeah. I mean, I got Instagram because I'm trying to build over there and stuff like that. So I do have Instagram, but I'm not into all that stuff.
About the digital evidence. There has not been digital forensic evidence extracted from the cell phone yet. What you have are the young man's parents interpreting what they see on the phone and speculating that something must be missing. That's what you have. But both, you need to have a forensic digital data extraction. And correct, that can determine if text messages were sent, were they deleted, if photos are deleted, all that needs to be done. I mean, there's no doubt about that whatsoever. But just individuals kind of looking at the phone, trying to interpret these things, that's not digital evidence. That would not be admissible in court. And actually, it would not be reliable.
We also agreed that.
Well, I hope that everything was deleted from Nolan's phone. They said they got they sent it to a lab or something to, see can they retrieve everything back. I hope they do. I pray and ask God that they get all that stuff back because the mama deserve answers, y'all. No matter, you know, what she want to hear or not. She deserve answers. We all deserve answers when it comes to our loved ones, no matter what the situation may be. Maybe we might hear something we don't want to hear, but we deserve answers. You know what I mean?
we will have a mutual inspection of the cell phone with our experts and their experts. Attorney Eric Hertz is helping lead the investigation team with former law enforcement experts who are going to help us with the cell phone download. So everybody will be able to see at the same
this
time
to an expert.
what the cell phone has.
Guys, that is our friend Ben Crump standing with the family. That's also from our friends at WLOX. You know, Todd Terrell is with
That's
us,
sad.
repping the United Cajun Navy, who was called in to participate in the water search for Nolan Wells. Todd, I'm curious about a theory that you threw out. It's not your theory, but it is a theory that has been discussed about his body being moved.
Well, as far as the body being moved, several things there. Like I said before, our mission is to bring a body home or bring a person back to their family and their, their loved ones. This is on federal land. So who has jurisdiction, first of all? It seems as though there's federal jurisdiction out there. The fact that they say the body was moved, we've offered our services. We have some of the best dogs available. Mr. Darius case in Baton Rouge, where the kid was dumped in a landfill, we were the ones instrumental in helping bring that to light, where they're searching for him right now because of our dogs that they found at the gentleman's house that's in jail for murder. We offered our dogs to bring to the boat. There's only one thing that will clean blood off of a boat. I'm not going to mention it because it'll give people ideas. But I doubt if somebody would have done something,
and not only that,
they would have used this chemical to remove blood. So we've offered our services to bring the dogs around the boat of everyone that was potentially involved in this. So the federal land thing is a big deal. So the body being dumped, I would say that let us bring the dog to the boat. Let us bring it. They said the boat was clean that night or the day before. There's only one thing that's going to clean it. If there's blood in that boat, we'll find it. The other thing is, getting back to the phone, if these guys had this phone, they stole his phone, why didn't they throw it away? Why didn't they just throw it in the water? And if there is anything on it, if it was deleted, forensics, they should be able to find it. You know, my thing is, if you came with these guys and they didn't bring you home, that is not uncommon. So I think there's where the focus needs to be. A, on let's get this notion that there was a body dumped. Let's bring the dogs to that boat, and we'd be willing to offer our services to go check that out. And B, these guys in the boat that he came with, it's okay that they left him on the island or they didn't bring him in. But yeah, as far as the body being dumped, our services are offered, and they've been offered to go bring the dogs around that boat.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here. Please join us on Crime Stories and stream it first on Courage with real-time analysis. Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Stream it first on Fox 1. I hope to see you there.
I did hear the mama say that.
Thank you, friend.
Nolan voluntarily said he's going to stay behind, and his parents and friends outright reject that. They said that is not of Nolan's character or disposition, and had he done so, would he have ever not wanted his...
Y'all put in the comments and tell me what y'all think happened. Because, you know, everybody got their own opinions about what happened. I respect everybody's opinion. That's me. I'm always like that. You know, I'm a respectable person. So I respect everybody's opinions. Because we all in this together to try to find out what really, you know, went wrong with Nolan. You know, so y'all say how y'all feel. What do y'all think? You know, do y'all think that the friends did something to him and dumped him the next day? Do y'all feel like he was left there with the girl and something happened with someone else and they did that to him? I mean, I don't know, y'all, because I have so many thoughts. I don't know which way to go no more. I really don't. I really don't know what to think no more, you know, because there's so much stuff out, you know.
Cell phone. The young lady he was talking to who said he told her that he was going to get back into the boat with the boys. And then the boys said that Nolan said he was going to stay and talk with her. Obviously, the statements conflict with one another.
We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Even when he was in college, he would say, Dad, well, we're going to ride down to a party or something in another city. So I was telling him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from your group. Cause
Yes, I
safety is in
believe
numbers.
they was not
And
aware
he always said,
that
yes, sir.
she was
So he knew
tracking
to
his
stay with his
phone
group.
like
So why
she
would he
was.
split from his group?
Yes,
I don't know.
I
We went
agree.
in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts,
Something
absolutely
fishy
nothing. It
about
was
this.
it wasn't
Something
even
ain't right.
24 hours, which is how long videos and pictures stay in Snapchat. And I was just like, that can't be like I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps. Like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos. Like there was absolutely nothing. No saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's
on the 6th.
suspicious. You know.
Baby, stay out of
That
my
is
head.
Nolan's family, the
Because
family
that
lawyer
part,
on
I
our with our friends
definitely was
GMA
thinking.
and PB.
I definitely was thinking that part. I definitely was thinking that part. Now she said, I think Warren brother and some has something to do with him. Like the girl Alexis said. Everything she said is now coming out. Okay, I remember the girl Alexis. I played her from I forgot the guy name. But yeah, because the girl was up there saying everything that Alexis had said. I remember that. And that's the one I think you sent me too, sis. I think yeah. Yeah, I think I remember that one. Yeah, the dumping thing. Yeah, I can kind of like go with that too. Yeah, I definitely can. And then y'all, let me know if I'm right or wrong. I think I heard somebody say that a couple of people spent the night in tents out there. Is that true? And if that is true, they didn't see nothing. They didn't hear nothing. They didn't hear nobody screaming. Yes, he was a healthy young man. Absolutely, sis. Absolutely. Healthy young man. Yes, I did hear him say that. That Nolan was found fully clothed. I did hear that. Yes. So when did they change clothes? I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Very good question. That's crazy.
BS. Caitlin Becker with us, senior national correspondent, New York
Dad
Post,
said the
star of
family
NY Postcast.
out that
Caitlin, a
night.
lot right
Yes.
there.
Okay, that was I heard who
You
said
got
the dad
Crump.
said that. Okay, thank you.
Any pizza for $9.99 should mean stuffed crust too. It's crazy.
It's a bold move.
The deal is too.
And he's saying it is not Nolan's character to have stayed behind to start with, or much less without his phone. He identifies the conflict that we have identified tonight between the two stories. The dad insists he would never have parted with all of his friends. And last but not least, we're hearing not only did Snapchats disappear, but that Nolan was a videographer, a photographer. He always took pictures of the fun times he was having, moments with his friends, games, the whole shebang. But they're all gone. They're
She said, hold on. Hold on. Let me get to your comment. Give me 1 second here. She said, I believe they was going to get rid of the phone, but when the mom was quick on her feet, they didn't know the mom and dad tracked the phone. Facts. Come on now. Come on. They played dumb long enough to buy time. Ooh, yes. Time to hide his phone. Yes. Yes. Both of y'all comments, I like that. I like that. Yep. They thought they was gonna get rid of that phone, and the mama said, "Oh no, I think them thugs killed him." Girl, she called them thugs. Okay, I feel you, sis. She said them thugs. And the parents trying to find someone to to, to be a fall guy. And I think Jason would be yes. Now let me ask y'all a question. Did y'all know Jason's brother was there also? Because I didn't know that. I'm just finding that out. Oh Lord, child, this a lot. Oh my God. Wow. Let's finish Nancy Grace.
Or not any. I also find
Okay, you do.
that
Okay.
disturbing, Caitlin.
It's a little odd that there was nothing on the phone seemingly from that day. That does strike me as odd. I do want to push back a little or set the stage a little bit for what this day was like. There were multiple boats going out at the same time to this island. They were filling up with a few teens. They left. The next group kind of got in. This is per the reporting and per what some of the witnesses said. There was maybe a couple hundred people on that island that day. That a lot of them were young. It was supposed to be some big kind of summer extravaganza before everybody, went back to school. So I don't think it's accurate to say he wouldn't go back with his friends, or he didn't go back with his friends, or he didn't intend to go back with his friends, because I think there were more than just those 4 friends on one boat that it sounded like the intention was for him to go with another group. Where I get stuck is the point that Ben Crump made. Why would he let his phone go back with his friends? Sure, you want to stay and go back with another
Scorpio,
group. I get
wasn't
that. You
aware of
heard,
that neither until today.
the person who was part of the search saying that's not uncommon. It does sound uncommon for anyone, a teenager, an adult, anyone to say, okay, go ahead and take my phone back with you. I'll stay without a means of communication for however long. That's what gets me. Why would anybody let their phone go on another boat without them with no plan to get it back?
Exactly. Now, regarding Snapchat, they delete immediately once they're opened. They can go about 30 days unopened, but you can manually set Snapchat to a 24-hour delete. And I'm wondering if that's what his mother is talking about. And on another front, listen.
We had his body flown from Mississippi to Washington, D.C., because his family wanted to make sure that they had a doctor who had no ties to Mississippi law enforcement to do an independent examination of their son's body. And we are hopeful to get that results in the very near future.
There is famed attorney Ben Crump speaking, the parents standing behind him, Nolan's parents, from our friends at Fox 10. Dr. Weigh in.
Nancy, what I would want to stress is what we see with Christine, who is living through what we call ambiguity loss, right? And it's one of the most excruciating forms of grief there is. When a mother buries her child without her nervous system can't even begin to close the wound, because them searching her last memories, a hug and a kiss over a salmon dinner, and then silence. So grief needs a story to hold on to, and until the family has truth, the grief has nowhere to land. And that's why transparency in this investigation isn't just a legal issue in my mind. It's a mental health intervention for this. Answers are how healing.
Joining us now, renowned guest, Dr. Kendall Crowns, Chief Medical Examiner, Tarrant County. He is the star of a hit podcast, Mayhem in the Morgue. He is the esteemed lecturer at the Burnett School of Medicine at TCU and has performed well over 10,000 autopsies.
All right.
Dr. Kendall Crowns, thank you for being with us. Okay, I don't have a ruling from the medical examiner. It should be apparent if drowning was the COD, cause of death. That should be very apparent by simply autopsying the lungs. Also, you'd know immediately if there were signs of trauma. I've seen the photos of his body on the beach. But as Todd Terrell from United Cajun Navy stated,
see, y'all, she keeps saying she's seen photos of the body. It's like she's saying stuff without saying it, but I don't want to put words in nobody's mouth. You feel me? But you just got to think about it the way you want to think about it. Put it in your own perspective, how you want to put it in your perspective. Because it's like, she says she's seeing photos of the body, and it going back to when the nurses said something about the body. Also, if y'all can remember the two nurses that spoke out about the body also. So y'all can, I guess, think about it the way how y'all feel about it. I don't like to put words in nobody's mouth or anything like that. And my goal today, y'all, if y'all want to support my channel, y'all can click the link because I'm not monetized. So y'all can click the link and support me and buy 1 or 2 coffees if you want to. My link is pinned at the bottom. My goal is 5 coffees for today.
The body was face down, so I couldn't see the face, the neck, the arms, the hands for defensive wounds. I couldn't see if there were bruises to the torso. I couldn't see if the skull was fractured. None of that. I couldn't see if teeth were missing. But it seems to me if those exhibited, we would know there had been blunt force trauma, stabbing, shooting, manual or ligature asphyxiation. We would know that. But yet,
I want to know why they turned that baby body like
nothing.
that. Like that was so disrespectful.
To me, that would rule out drowning or
That's
trauma.
crazy. Hey,
Are they
Queen.
waiting on toxicology? Is that what they're waiting on? And why would the body have been sent for an independent autopsy? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what's going on, Dr. Kendall Crowns?
Y'all give me a minute, 1 minute. I got to inbox
Okay,
something.
to start with, he was in the water for several days. I'm sure the water in that area is warm, so his body is going to be decomposing. He'll have skin slippage. He's going to have bloating from the decompositional gases and then purge fluid coming out of his mouth and other orifices. Woo! So then you also probably have post-mortem animal scavenging or marine aquatic life scavenging that can create marks on the body as well. So at autopsy, your question, wouldn't you be able to see the evidence of injury? Yes, you should still be able to see injuries, bruises, stab wounds, gunshot wounds, all that, even in decomposition, can still be seen, can still be determined. It doesn't sound like he's been consumed by aquatic life to the point that he's skeletonized in the front of his body. So my assumption is you would still be able to see injuries. Now, they have not given a definitive cause and manner of death yet, because to me, that means there's no obvious signs of injuries or no obvious cause of death. Because drowning, yes, the lungs can swell and be heavy with fluid, but this can also happen with drug overdoses. So differentiating a drowning from a drug overdose is difficult.
No.
So
No. N-O. Yes.
Well, I don't know how
it
many
would
autopsies of
manifest
drownings
in
you've
the
done,
same.
but I've done a lot. So
Absolutely
continue
zero.
on,
But I
please.
don't need to have my MD or be the lecturer at Burnett School of Medicine to know that if the lungs are full, and it could be drowning or fluid caused
Drug
by an
overdose.
overdose, can't you get the fluid and test it?
So testing of the fluid from the lungs there's nothing to test for. What you're going to look for is the pulmonary edema or fluid in the lungs. You're going to try and differentiate a drug overdose from drowning with a toxicologic study, which is what they're doing, and that can take up to 6 to 8 weeks. Drowning is a diagnosis of exclusion because it can mimic so many other things, including a drug overdose. You want to rule those things out before you determine cause and manner of death.
That boy was not on no drugs, man. What are you talking about? That boy didn't do no drugs. What are you talking about? That's the first thing y'all want to talk about. Drugs. He was not on that. Okay?
And that's probably what they're doing. They're making sure he didn't overdose before they make the decision that he drowned. Now, the second autopsy being done, that's just the family obviously has no confidence in the local medical examiner / coroner system, and they've sent it to an independent person to do a second autopsy. Not uncommon, especially in cases that are more high profile or there's some sort of dispute, and they send it to an independent person to do a second autopsy to see what they can find. And from my knowledge, the information on that still isn't out yet. So they're also probably trying to find out what the toxicologic studies are going to show before they make a decision. So right now, we're kind of pending on what drugs he has on board before they make a
What did you
cause
keep
and manner of
saying
death
that for?
statement.
Dr. Kendall Crowns, I understand.
What does you keep saying that for? And what would make you say something like that? Nobody never said anything like that. Nothing. You sure you cool?
And I also understand your explanation regarding
Yeah, go to sleep.
the potential drowning fluid in the lungs as opposed to or compared to the fluid in the lungs if there had been an overdose.
Yes,
If
everything would
he's
definitely
found right
yes.
there, face down, it looked to me like in the surf, not out in the water floating, but up on the beach. So even if that was the least of it, the water still would have gone into his nose and mouth. If he were alive, he could have inhaled it or ingested it, even if a drug overdose was the true COD, which would require, I guess, what, Dr. Crowns, a dual finding of drowning and OD. And I'll just state for the record, let it be noted in the record that I have never performed an autopsy, but I'm glad you pointed that out. So,
Yes, I
what
heard about
about
that. I did hear about
the
that.
fluid in the lungs if there had been an OD? And by the way, there is no suggestion that drugs were used that day, none whatsoever. But that said, you're saying that there would be no difference in the fluid found in his lungs.
So with a drowning, you're going into heart failure at some point from the anoxia created or the lack of oxygen to the brain created by the drowning because there's no air and water. And that causes your body to shut down, which causes fluid to back up and causes pulmonary edema or swelling of the lungs. The same process happens in a drug overdose. But when you're drowning and you're inhaling that water, you get some water in your lungs as well, but you're also swallowing, gulping it, throwing back up, and then swallowing and gulping it again. So you'll have water in your stomach that you can look for in a drowning, not always. And sometimes you'll get water in an area in your sinus cavity called the sphenoid sinus as well. But the pulmonary edema created by drowning looks exactly like the pulmonary edema created by a drug overdose.
Yes, that's exactly what
So
he's
you
trying to
can't
do.
really differentiate the two of those. And that's why the drug testing is so important. And yes, you are correct. If drugs come back on board, like let's just say fentanyl, it would be part 1 drowning, part 2 fentanyl toxicity, and then manner would be accident. So it's going to be a drowning no matter what. But is there going?
Y'all think all people that pass away, they got to be on some type of shit? I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. This is something you shouldn't even be saying. Period. This is what you're trying to indicate for this little young boy, and you shouldn't be doing that. You should be talking. If someone did this, this might happen. This might show up. You know, whatever. But for you to sit here and say this, you're trying to indicate something that you shouldn't, that nobody else is talking about but you. You're trying to make the boy look bad. That's just insane to me.
To be a toxicology component added on, and that's probably what they're working on as we speak.
Yep, smear campaign. Absolutely.
Maintenance fee, overdraft fee, minimum balance fee,
That's what people
maximum
do.
balance fee. Banking fees
Thank
are just
you,
a part
Ray.
of modern life. Or
y'all make sure y'all support.
You're on cross-examination. Who is our next sponsor? Well, here is a probative clue. Meow. Smalls makes fresh.
Okay, y'all, that was the end of that. Let me get to, because I have another one I want to show y'all. Oh, shoot. And I want to see. Let me see, can I find it? Okay, let me find his channel. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I hate when people try to put stuff into something where it's not, like, don't do that. Like, I don't like stuff like that. I really don't. Okay, now, y'all, the story I'm going to bring up for y'all to see, right? This lady, son, was unalive. And she's telling her story because her story is similar to Nolan. And she went on his podcast to tell her story. So I want y'all to see, and I want y'all to hear this now. Tell me what y'all think about it, because y'all know hold on. Y'all know I like y'all opinion about different things. Okay.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Today on the show, we're joined by the mother of 18-year-old TJ Davis, who was found drowned in the Mississippi River in Minnesota.
Yeah, I want y'all to hear this.
As she shares who her son really was, her family's search for answers, and why she's asking the public to stand with them through her Unite Give fundraiser.
We know all their players.
Here she is right there.
Women.
Hey, Cheryl, how you doing?
Good morning,
Yes.
Mr. Willie D. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. What a beautiful face. You know, I've been going down the rabbit hole of the videos on your Instagram, and just like you've been fighting for TJ. Like TJ be like that. If TJ could say anything right now, at the very least he would say, "That's my mama." Yeah, I'm proud. Yeah, for real, because you going hard. But you've been feeling like you almost been in it by yourself.
Y'all, this lady have not got justice in 5 years. This happened in Mississippi too. 5 years. But y'all got to hear her story. It is so sad.
Because you haven't had a lot of help from the public, right?
That's true.
Yes. Yeah. Like before we, get into what happened, tell us who TJ was. Like, what would people who loved him
That's a good question. Was Nolan
say that made him
when
special?
they took it?
It was his presence. He could go into a room and light it up.
Mm-hmm.
He was a class clown in school, and he didn't get in trouble for fighting. He got in trouble for making people laugh. Even the teachers would laugh.
Right.
Loved being an uncle, loved being a brother. He was my fishing buddy. That was my fishing buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So, he just a good person, a good heart, cared about other people. I saw one of his Snapchats. He was at the George Floyd protest.
Hey, Auntie Wanda.
And I didn't know that till kind of after the fact. And I was like, wow. Well, he didn't listen to me because I told him not to go.
Huh. Right.
And to be, it's kind of at the time, but very proud that he went.
Yeah.
Just really, really proud of him. I miss him daily. I miss him every minute, every hour, every year now, and I'm going to keep fighting for him. How much I loved him. And you said that in your video. That's a mother's love. Almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still wanting those answers, and I deserve those answers.
You absolutely do.
I deserve to know what happened to my son. Hopefully we can get those answers soon.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here to help you try to get those answers. What's one of the memories that always makes you smile about TJ, even when times are hardest?
I think hearing him laugh. I have, thank God with technology, I have a video of him that he recorded me catching a largemouth bass.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Mom, I'm videoing you," and you could hear him laughing. And I replay that, and I'll share that video on all my social medias with that video. But just hearing him laugh make you laugh. It just, so I play that a lot because it just makes me feel good. I do look at his
She have a
old
video of
memories.
him, y'all, before he passed away.
And what dreams and goals did he
she-
have? You know,
wait a minute.
like
She have a video of him before he passed away. So when she thinks about him, she said she goes back and play the video. You know, because that's the memories that she have of him before they unalived her son.
what type of future did he paint for himself? Like, you know,
Well, he did live with me and my mother, and he was planning to go to trade school.
Mhm.
He was held back in elementary school, so he graduated high school at 19.
Mhm.
And that was his goal. He wanted to, you know, get him a job and go to school. And I was pushing for that. That was what we were planning to do. And you never expect to hear that your child's gone.
Yeah.
Kind of just taken, snatched from you. So, but yeah, he wanted to go into trades.
When did you first realize something was wrong, and what's going through your mind in those first hours?
So I woke up.
Did they ever say?
I woke up about 12:50 in the morning,
No,
29th.
I'm not sure, Scorpio. No, I didn't hear
I
her say
couldn't
that. I didn't
breathe.
watch the whole thing. I watched like
felt like
half,
I
like
was
I was sleepy
drowning.
last night.
And I'm gasping
But this was,
for air.
I think, it was 4 years or 5
And
years
I
ago.
thought, well, he's not home yet. I went and looked in his room. He's not home yet. Well, normally, since my mother passed, he was very good about coming home or letting me know where he's at or if he's staying the night at someone's house. Now, he's an adult, you know, but he did that so I wouldn't have to worry. And I stayed up until about 3 o'clock. And then 3:30, you know, I went to bed and I prayed about it. And I went to bed at 3:30. It was a knock on my bedroom window. So the young men must have told him that's, you know, knock on the window instead of the front door, because my room is further from the front door. So if you have a fan running, you're really not going to hear it unless someone knocks hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I let them come in, and they told me.
Yeah.
They told me they had to come in, and I told them I didn't want to because I knew something was wrong, because you're at my door at 3:30 in the morning. So St. Paul Police Department and Water Division Sheriff, Ramsey County Sheriffs. And right when they walked in, I did say, Morgan did something to my son. And the police officer said, you better be glad that they gave me your address.
Girl, she said his name because that's who her son was with, y'all. And the cops got smart with it and told her, you better be glad they gave us your address. Ain't that a shame, y'all? That is sad.
And the sheriff told me that they're going home. They're tired.
Why did he say you better be glad that they gave them your address?
I think because my son didn't have his wallet on him because he wasn't really planning to go anywhere. They were going to hang out at someone's house. So he wasn't planning to go anywhere. His wallet was at home. So they didn't have an address. They gave them my address.
So in your mind, you're thinking, okay, they killed my son and they coming over here to my door and they're telling me I better be glad at least that they were
right,
that they were thoughtful enough to give you the address.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
And then they left. They called my daughter, left a message, and they left. The first person I screamed out to was my mom. I lost her 3 months ago. She passed away of old age at 87. We all lived together, my mom, my son, and me, in the same house. That was the unit. So I called her, you know, I called out for her and then talked to my daughter, talked to my niece. My niece came to pick me up. because I was praying he was hanging onto a tree, a rock, or something.
Yeah.
So we went to one of the young men's home, his dad's home, that lives in my neighborhood. And I'm talking about 2-block radius from me. And I didn't know all the young men were in the house at that time. This is early in the morning. This is 6 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't know they were all there until after the fact. I got all the evidence. So they were all there when I knocked on the door because I wanted to know where the location was to go to. And I'm in shock still, and my niece is talking to him. We go, and we're looking because I'm praying that he's not. I'm praying that, okay, he's hanging on, and we're going to find him. There was a rowing boat club over there. We went and showed pictures because they carry walkies, and they were looking. But none of those young men were there when they left the scene. They went home.
What time did they say the incident occurred?
So what I heard from Channel 9 News, because they were there at the scene when he was the recovery, they said the first 911 call went in at 12:50
a.m.
When I woke up, a.m.
Stop. So let me put myself in the shoes of one of the guys whose friend just drowned. He's out.
Yes,
in the
Mr.
Mississippi
Brown.
River.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I leave the scene and I go to my other buddy's house. I'm at my other buddy's house 3 hours later. I don't go to his parents' house. I don't go to his mother's house and tell his mother what's going on. I go to my buddy's house and we chilling, we kicking it. Maybe it's something different about the way that my conscience is set up, you know, but in my mind, I'm thinking, that's my dog, that's my partner. I'm not going nowhere. I'm
right
here, I'm standing, I'm stunned. I can't even move. I want to. This is something I want to ask you that I think is would be insightful for others who are listening to this. You know, a lot of us, especially right now, are thinking about our Black children who have white friends, and we're thinking about their safety. How much were you thinking about TJ's safety before this incident? TJ's safety hanging out with his white friends. Did you have any type
we gotta start talking to these kids much better. Yeah,
because
this shit
every
is getting
time
out
I
of
knew he was
hand
going to
for
go
real.
out with his white friends, I would always tell him,
I don't
do
care
white
what
people
state
stuff.
you in, it's getting out of hand.
And what's white people
I
stuff?
wouldn't use stuff as the word I would use.
But what is white people stuff?
This is just sad.
Well, prime example. TJ was about 12, 13, and he had a little girl he was interested in. And so him and another white child rode their bikes on the freeway to Hugo. And Hugo it's a distance from here. And it was Hugo police officer, a woman, a
That's
white
her
woman.
son, y'all.
She brought him home to me in the middle of the night, but he ran. They both ran.
That's
and I
her
had
son.
a whole conversation.
Nice looking fella.
He can run. You can't, because you might not make it home. Now, I was blessed that that police officer had children and knew he was a child just because he was tall, but knew he was a child. So those are the things when I say white people things. You know, they can get away with certain things, but you can't. You can't move a certain way. If they're in front of you, law enforcement in front of you, you can't put your hands in your pocket. You can't move quickly. You can't talk back. but white people can. So we've had these conversations, and I told him that night, don't do white people stuff. Don't. Okay, mom. Okay, mom. You know, he had a lot of Black friends. And when we moved to a different city, the school was where he was zoned was predominantly white. Yes, there was diversity in this school, but not as where he used to go to school. And I think that was hard. And I have a big regret because he did tell me, he said, Mom, they're racist. So I've given myself grace over the years with that because I should have checked him out instead of saying, stay away from them. I should have just took him out because I'm not far from where we used to live. So we could have figured it out. And I don't blame myself for his passing. But you know, those shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I've dealt with that. But when you do have children and they do say, it's racist here, parents, please don't make the same mistake as I did. Take your children out of that school because it's just going to get worse.
Yes.
It's not going to get better.
Yes.
And know that it's racist because leadership starts at the top.
Mm-hmm.
The students are racist because the principal is racist.
It's tolerating it, right?
It's because the
kids do be saying that, sis. Yes,
racist.
they do. That is
the board is racist.
And then when they get 18,
so leadership starts at the top. Because I can tell you right now, if Willie D was the principal of a school, it ain't gonna be we ain't tolerant. We got zero racism policy. We got a zero racist policy. We catch you, we snatching you up. We gonna do something about that really fast. So just like if Willie D was the sheriff, I'm the police chief. Oh man, let me catch one of y'all out of pocket doing some racist stuff against anybody. It's on. We're not tolerating that. So when I see that you got racism coming from a police officer, all I got to do is look at his superiors. I can go straight to his superiors and find out where it's coming from. You know, just like if you have a child who's racist, 9 times out of 10, he got it from his mom.
What the movie was about?
That's where he get it from his pappy and his mammy and his grandpappy and his grandmammy.
Yep.
That's where it comes from.
Yep, it goes from generation to generation.
Yeah, that's cold-blooded. You know, as you search for answers, what's been the most frustrating part of your journey as a mother?
I think the most frustrating thing is no one listened, and the sheriff's department didn't do their job. They wouldn't listen to me. The St. Paul Police Department didn't do their job. They had all of them in the backseat of the car. So why didn't you take them down to the precinct?
Exactly.
Separate them.
The father.
Yeah. They took him to
the father was on the scene before EMTs.
No, it's the father of one of the boys or multiple boys?
One of them.
What's the boy's name? All of them that are included. Which give me the names of every last one of them.
So I think the ringleader is Morgan Mortensen. The weakest link is Ramsey Sontag Mills. And there's William C. Merck and Garrick Shelding.
Yeah. And when all of this happened, since all of this has happened, have you ever received one phone call from any of them?
Oh, okay. Thank you, sis. Thank you.
No, I have not. None of their parents came by. Morgan came by about 2 days after and tried to give flowers. And his dad saw the car pull up, and I said, "You go talk. I don't want to talk to anybody right now. You know, you handle this."
TJ's dad saw the car.
TJ's dad went.
Now, one of the boys that was with her son, y'all, when her son was unalive, he came to the house to give flowers to the mother.
And he said it was Morgan, and I was.
Now, y'all tell me if y'all would have took him, because I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I wouldn't have took nothing. I'm just gonna be honest. If I'm wrong, Lord forgive me, but I don't think I would have took him. You was with my child when my child got unalive, and you can't tell me you're gonna bring me flowers. No, I don't want your dirty flowers, because you're not being forefront honest to me to tell me what happened with my child. And you was with my child that day. Same thing as Nolan case. Same thing.
I was like, I should have went out there because and then we have a memorial over there on Mississippi Boulevard and Dayton Drive. It's not there anymore, Avenue. But he showed up there too, Morgan did. And I just felt it was very disrespectful because you left my son. None of you were hurt. You left him. You could have got a blanket from EMTs and waited. Or you could have came back and held my hand and his brother and his dad and my niece. You weren't there. So you cannot come show up in spaces that I feel safe in and his friends, his village feel safe in. And I told all his friends that were up at the memorial, don't let them come here. They weren't here to watch him be recovered. They left him. Don't let them come in this space.
I feel her on that. I was saying that about the Nolan thing.
That was a place for us to go to.
Yeah.
To talk to him, to put flowers, memories, pictures. Yeah.
Has anything about the investigation left you with unanswered questions? And if so, what specific unanswered questions?
I don't know what happened to my son. My son left August 28th, 2021, and said, "Mom, I'm going to go hang out with Morgan." I said, okay. I told him I love him. I told him be careful. And then I get that he's in the river, gone.
Did y'all hear that?
So I need answers of how that happened. Because I don't know what happened. They know what happened. There's 4 people that were with him that know what happened. If it was an accident, I am okay and will accept that.
And that's exactly what Nolan's mother said. If it was an accident, she would accept that. Just tell her what happened to her son. This lady is saying the same identical thing. And I agree with her. Just say what happened. Her son was with 4 boys. 4. And her son was left in the river. Okay? Ain't that something?
But for them to keep, dodging law enforcement entities, all of them.
No, law enforcement was dodging them because they ain't want to fuck with your case.
You know what? I'm not so sure they're dodging law enforcement. I think law enforcement is dodging them.
Absolutely.
I think the law. Yeah, I don't trust none of them.
That case out.
I don't trust none of them. Yeah, I think law enforcement is dodging them. I think, you're right. They're dodging law enforcement and dodging. Hell, for all we know, they're hanging out with law enforcement and kicking it and laughing it up. The thing about it is that
good evening, how you doing? Good afternoon, happy Tuesday.
The races and you had 4 black boys hanging out with a white boy, and the white boy ended up dead. All 4 of them would still be in jail right now.
Right.
So this is law enforcement doing, but law enforcement enables these people to commit these type of crimes because will not hold them accountable. They will not investigate. they say they're investigating, but really they're not investigating. They're what they do, what law enforcement do in cases where white people are suspected of killing black people, is it's akin to a car salesman having a conversation with you about the price of the car, and then they go into.
Now her son was the only Oreo, chocolate chip, I say, and it was four, other ones that y'all know what I'm saying. Lord, I gotta watch what I say, y'all, because my channel got a little strike yesterday on that video I played yesterday too. So yeah, so what he trying to say. If that was her son, game over.
The office, they say, well, let me talk to my manager. They go in there, and when they go into the office to talk to their manager, they ain't talking about the price of the car. They're talking about sports or something irrelevant. And then he come back about 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later. Yeah, man, he said the best he could do is, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they do. Like, law enforcement all across America is enabling these dudes. This is the only reason why they do it. They're not tough. The only reason why they do it is because they know that it's highly likely that law enforcement is not going to investigate. They know it's highly likely that law enforcement will not be interested in giving the family justice because of that white hue. You see?
They are a day after the chief of the fire department in St. Paul. I don't remember his name. So this is back in 2021, a day after.
Nope, they didn't have him or her. Nope.
And said it was a freshwater drowning. How can you say that when it hasn't even?
They told her son drowned, y'all.
Or has been investigated. So he already painted the picture. That and that bothers.
Same thing for Nolan, y'all. What they came out with and said in the beginning. They told her the same thing about her son. Same thing.
Me because I'm like, no. And I called the news station. Like, why would you put that out when nothing has been said? Where did you get that from?
Because the news station works in collusion with law enforcement. They all work together. None of them be trusted.
Absolutely none of them. Let me tell you
something, family. Investigate, investigate, investigate. Always. Do not trust any of them, because
that's true.
The way that the system is set up, it is set up to target black people. The system is set up to protect them and punish us. That is the way the system is set up. So investigate, 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 independent investigate. What has this experience taught you about how families are treated when loved ones go missing or end up dead?
Well, especially in our community, we're dismissed. And if we are loud, then we're angry Black people, Black women. I've already been called by the sheriff's department and the father an angry Black woman. I'm not angry, I'm grieving. And honestly, I really didn't get to mourn or grieve because I had to go to investigation mode and detective mode for my own son's case.
Because
I knew there was no.
Didn't Nolan mother say that too, y'all? Didn't she say the same thing? Wow.
Transparency from the time they walked in my door to the time we're calling after the fact who's going to be assigned my son's case. All they said was, well, the state fair's in town, so all our sheriffs are at the state fair. I heard that for a whole week and a half until someone finally came to my house with me and my daughter. They wanted me to go to the office. My daughter said, well, don't you have any respect for a grieving mother that lost her child in your department? pulled him out? Don't you think you should show her some respect? So off bat, there has not been any transparency. And you're right. You do have to do your diligence and do your own investigation, be your own detective.
Yep, Nolan mother said that too.
That's exactly what's happening in the Nolan Wells case.
Yes.
That's the mom and the daddy had to goddamn investigate the case.
Facts.
They was the first, the mom and the daddy are the lead investigators. They're the lead investigators. It was the mother and the father who retrieved the phone. It was the mother, it was the mother who retrieved the phone. It was the father who retrieved the keys. It's the mother and the father who's asking all of the questions that the police should be answering. And another similarity to your case and TJ's case is that the sheriff immediately ruled it
crazy.
No foul play.
I can't believe everybody
without
coming up with
any
these
type of
same
investigation,
stories.
without any examination of the body, no autopsy. He just, well, it's no foul play. We don't suspect foul play. They always are quick to say we don't suspect foul play, but they're never quick to say we suspect foul play. In these type of cases, they never are quick to say we suspect foul play. They're absolutely in it. The law enforcement across America has been infiltrated. Some might say initiated from day one, right? And so,
yes,
man,
yes.
When I heard about this case, and I saw how diligent you were about getting answers, and the woman named Sunny, she going to heaven. Oh, she going to heaven. I'm calling it. That woman has been a saint in your corner. Like she has been on it. She was reporting this stuff well before anybody else ever said anything, and I'm banking on this case gaining more traction and more content creators starting to report on it. And as they do, I want everybody to know that Sunny did it first. She was the first one to jump on it.
Sure. Yeah,
she was absolutely the first one to jump on it, so she absolutely deserves credit.
2022. Yeah, so February 2000.
Have any of y'all ever heard about this case? Because this is my first time hearing about this case. And yesterday, sometimes I do my research for the next day, and I came across this, and I'm like, wow, her story sounds just like Nolan's story. So I said, well, I'm gonna share it with the people tomorrow and see what they think about it. If they think it's similar to Nolan's and stuff like that. I just feel like, this is happening way too much, y'all. Like, and it's the same identical thing. It seems like it's always the water issue. The water issue. It's always that. Always. It's crazy. Even with the one that just happened in Texas, and they just arrested the two boys. That was the same thing. Water situation. The same thing. Bill Crump got that case too.
2022. And this is what she does. She's an advocate.
Hey, Open Book.
Absolutely.
Open Book. This story is about this lady here. Her son was unalive just like Nolan. And she wanted to share her story. He went out with 4 you-know-who, and he ended up in the river unalive. And the detectives told her that he committed, you know what? And they never helped this lady. And this happened in 2021. And one of the boys that was with her son came to her house and tried to give her flowers, and then tried to come to the gravesite and all of that stuff. So that's what this story right here is about. And she never got answers up until this day. She said they never wanted to listen to her at all.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. And speaking to that,
you
have
sad,
a
Open Book. It's really
fundraiser on Unite Give,
really sad.
And I want to put that up right quick. Put that up on the screen and let people see it, because you you need help. Like,
Yes.
I mean, you have, it's important for people to know that you're not out here begging. You got a job, but like most people, you know what I'm saying, you know,
She's
you make
trying to
enough
find
to
out
make
what
ends
happened to
meet.
her son and stuff.
And this is one of those things that nobody could ever prepare for. So you do need some financial help. She does need financial help, family. And she's asking for all of our help, right? Cheryl, tell the people what the funds, any type of donation would be used for. What will the funds go towards?
Well, for the funds, I'm needing to retain a lawyer.
Okay.
Me and Sonny, we have done our diligence over the years of recovery.
And open book, she also said the same thing that Nolan mother said. She said that her and her husband had to do their own investigation because the cops wasn't doing anything. The detectives, they wouldn't do nothing. They won't update her anything. So her and her husband was doing the best they can to see what happened to her son. And the night of her son got unalived, the detective came to her house and knocked on her window. And when they walked in the house, they told her, "You better be glad that we here." They gave us your address, meaning the boys that was with her son. Now tell me if that wasn't disrespectful.
Covering every evidence. I have everything. So now there's been a lot of discrimination.
Yes, God is
towards me
absolutely
through this. It's been documented. I have receipts. And now I need to retain a lawyer so we can do a civil suit and hopefully get a criminal suit out of that. So the money is that's going for retaining. I pay my bills. I take care of my job. I'm a certified nursing assistant.
And after her son passed, open book, she lost her mom because her mom, her husband, and her son, they all stayed together. They all stayed together because it sounds like she only had one child. And she said she had a niece. So it sounds like, she had one child. And now it's just her and her husband because her mom just died 3 months ago. Yeah. Her mom was 87, I think.
I work home health and in the senior community. And I've been with my employer for almost 10 years now. So I do pay my bills. So this isn't covering my bills. This is for an attorney.
Wow, this is sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
So family, let's get this ball rolling.
If y'all
on
would
this
like to
fundraiser.
donate to my channel, my
Go
link
to
is pinned at the bottom. All donations will help my channel, and I will very much so appreciate
donation
it.
right now. It takes you about 60 seconds and you're done. Let me walk you through it. Right now, let's say if I were donating right now, you can see what it looks like. It's really simple. That's
It seems like now they're using
you can
drowning
donate
or
10,
hanging.
25, 50, 100, whatever you want. You can also make a custom donation.
Absolutely.
But here's where Unite Give
Hey,
sets
Ebony.
itself apart from the other platforms. Unite Give allows campaign organizers to set up exactly how much percentage goes toward that they want to go toward legal representation, family support, and mobilization and organization. So because Shara is seeking answers and she needs legal representation, she also needs mobilization and organization. So 85%, she set her goal to for 85% of any donations to go towards legal representation. And then 15% of it goes towards mobile organization. So you don't have to guess, where your money is going. This is exactly how it'll be used. Okay. So, and as you can see, 100% of the donation goes towards the campaign. There's zero platform fee. If you want to tip the foundation,
Oh, 3
if you
months
want to
before her
tip
son
the
died.
platform,
Okay,
you
thank you,
can,
baby.
but you're not obligated. 100% of the funds go to the fundraiser, the campaign, right? So go to
Now,
unitegive.com.
Mr. Willie D, is
Mm-hmm.
there a link that people can post?
Yeah. So if you want to post a link, let me go backwards here. Go back to the campaign. Boom, right there. So you can easily go into the browser and click that. But the easiest way to do is to just hit the share button right here, and then you can hit the Facebook, Twitter, email, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, or you got the QR code right
Let's
there.
pray, y'all, that she
So
gets justice for her
it's very
son
simple
also.
to use.
She deserves answers of what happened to her son.
I want to go through some of the pictures that people see. TJ, and this is his sister, right?
That's his sister, yes.
What's her name?
Her name is Thea.
Thea, because I've seen Thea in some of the posts.
Yeah.
That was, yeah.
And that is TJ and his oldest nephew.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's TJ and his youngest nephew. He loved being an uncle.
But TJ is tall. How tall is TJ?
TJ was almost 6 feet.
Okay, he looks tall on that picture.
Yeah, he's a tall guy.
Yeah.
And that was in Colorado. That was our family trip. Very proud.
Graduation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice looking son. Nice looking.
Cool, man. This is cold blooded. So family, if TJ's story touched your heart today, I want you to please consider supporting his family's Unite Give fundraiser. Every donation, no matter the amount, helps them continue their search for answers and reminds them that they're not in this alone. If you can give, sharing the fundraiser can make just as much of a difference. Even if you can't give, just share the fundraiser, get the word out, help us get the word out.
Yes.
Let's get this grieving mother, the justice that she and her family deserves. Sure. What did I do there? Okay, let me get this out of here. Okay, Cheryl, I appreciate you coming on. Is there any parting words that you'd like to impart?
I just want to thank you. I appreciate you. We were talking that my algorithm has changed, and it was because Ricky Smiley put a video of mine on his page. And I'm glad it did,
that was
because
nice.
I'm sitting here talking to you right now.
Right.
And feel very hopeful because people are listening. That's all I've ever asked, was to listen and to help. I need closure.
Absolutely.
We need
You do.
closure.
You deserve it.
Our family needs closure.
Absolutely.
His village needs closure. Everyone that's been following all these years, they want closure too. And to know what happened to him. He had such a wonderful, bright future, and it's gone. And there's 4 men out there
Just like
that
Nolan.
know what happened. So I thank you for being a blessing through this journey and talking with me this morning.
Absolutely. And I
please donate. Please share. Please share. Donate.
Donate. Go to unitegive.com, fam, and show some love. You never know, family. You never know.
That's so sad.
If you, God forbid, will end up in a position like this. And if you do, I'm sure you would want somebody to be there for you.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. What can I say? Support. I can only just continue to extend my condolences to you. But I'm here for you. I'm here for you. You got my number now. We locked in. So if you need me, don't worry about what I'm doing. Don't worry about what's going on or what I might be doing. Call me. I'm gonna answer your phone at an award ceremony. It don't matter what's going on.
Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl Davis. No more talk.
That's so sad, y'all. Hold on.
Looking for a dental office you can truly rely on?
That's so sad. That, it's sad that, you can't. Oh, Lord, what did I click on? Jesus, Lord, help me. I clicked on the wrong thing, y'all. Give me time to get up off of here. Because I don't know what I just did. I just clicked on something. I ain't had no business. Let me go back to my boy. Okay, let's see. Gotta talk to our children, y'all. We have to talk to our children. Okay, I want y'all to see this right here. Yes, Lord. I got another one for y'all. Y'all got to see this one. Let me see what time it is here. Ben Crump saying the autopsy results will be shown tomorrow. Oh, really? Thank you so much, Scorpio. I appreciate that. Thank you. Did he go live or something today? Thank you for the update. I appreciate that. Y'all, please donate to my channel, y'all.
That's cold-blooded.
Oh, y'all.
That's
I need y'all to see
cold-blooded.
this right here, baby. Y'all got to see this one here. Y'all got to see this. Let me make sure
Wells'
it's up on the
family will
screen.
celebrate his life today at his memorial. Although he will be laid to rest, we are not going to let his story rest in the hands of this woman. Y'all know who this
Y'all
is?
pay
So
attention.
let me give you a closer look. That's Dr. Stacy Turner. Stacy is the chief medical examiner in Mississippi. Yeah, she's the chief medical examiner for
Y'all, she's in Mississippi, y'all, where they allegedly sent Nolan. Jesus. That's all I can say is holla out on Jesus. Because, baby, in this world today, baby, we need Jesus. I'm telling you. Because this is the evil, cruddy world we living in today. We have to stay prayed up, y'all, every day, all day. You don't have to know each other to live next to each other, to love each other, because, baby, this is not it. I'm telling you, this is just, oh, Lord. That's all I can say.
the state of Mississippi, the good old boy state of Mississippi. Stacy got some explaining to do because Stacy, for years, has been embroiled in what some people say are cover-ups. Yeah, trying to defend herself against accusations of cover-ups, specifically regarding
Thank you, Scorpio, for putting that. Appreciate you. Thank
black male victims. No matter what the situation is, no matter the condition of the body, it doesn't matter if it's badly bruised or beaten.
Pay attention to this lady.
You can have a arm detached. For some reason, Stacy cannot find it in her heart or the scope of her skill set
My laptop gonna die. Give me a second.
to rule a black death, where there's a person who is white suspected of killing that black person, a homicide. She just can't do it. She cannot do it. Yeah, fam. Let's get into it because Stacy needs to be brought to the front of the congregation and let us know what the hell is going on. Let's start with the controversy involving Shannon Wilson and Dr. Stacy Turner. It stems from allegations that Tracy, the chief medical examiner of Mississippi, mishandled and covered up the suspicious death of the 13-year-old boy. Activists in the Wilson family allege that Tracy told them Harrison County does not perform autopsies on drowning victims, forcing the family to pay out of pocket for a private out-of-state autopsy. The case has fueled intense public debate and calls for legal accountability, serving as part of a larger systemic public outcry regarding how Chief Turner handles the deaths of Black individuals in the state. Backstory.
Very disrespectful.
On Mother's Day, May 8, 2022, 13-year-old Shannon Wilson went to a creek near D'Iberville, Mississippi with friends. The friends allegedly pushed him into the creek, watched him drown, and fled the scene to call their parents before alerting the police.
Did you hear it? Did y'all hear this?
The D'Iberville Police Department ruled the incident an accidental drowning before a full investigation was completed. According to Shannon's brother, Dr. Stacy Turner refused to conduct a state autopsy, claiming that the county does not perform them on drowning victims. This forced the family to seek independent medical evaluation elsewhere. She said Harrison County does not conduct autopsies on drowning victims. This is why research is important. It's cool to hear what a person got to say, but there's a such thing as trust but verify. But I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her. But anyway, Harrison County, according to the state of Mississippi, will conduct an autopsy on drowning victims when the circumstances of the death are sudden, unexplained, suspicious, or when foul play is suspected. And I do believe that Shannon's case would qualify for suspected. Next up is the case of Damian Cameron. Stacy ruled his death undetermined following a violent confrontation with law enforcement. Not one, not two, but 3 independent pathologists later reviewed the evidence and concluded the manner of death should be ruled a homicide due to internal injuries. Now, I know what some of
Yes,
you
he do. He be on
law
it.
enforcement apologists out there are thinking. Well, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing. What about now? You can look at that picture and tell something really bad happened, right? You can look at that.
Ooh, y'all, I can't look at that long.
He was beat. The 21-year-old Trey Reed, whose case I reported on extensively, his body was found hanging on the Delta State University campus in 2025. Stacy ruled it a suicide with no sign.
Do y'all remember this? Because I remember this one. I never talked about it, but I remember this. But don't y'all feel it's something strange, y'all? Every time she do autopsies, she want to rule them as suicidal?
Signs of foul play. But a private independent investigation discovered blunt force trauma and extensive bruising, ruling it a homicide. And that brings us full circle to Nolan Wells, a young Black man whose death was quickly ruled a drowning by Turner and the sheriff. And that brings us full circle to Nolan Wells, a young Black man whose death was quickly ruled a drowning by Stacy Turner, Dr. Stacy Turner. Ain't no way she went to school and actually studied and actually passed on her own merit. She must got her education from Dr. Seuss. Ain't no way, family. Ain't no way she's a real doctor. If she is, well, I guess it could be a way because Mississippi could bring somebody in like that. They don't give a damn, like, hey, rule it however you want. We just need somebody with a signature, okay. And Stacey was like, I'll do it. This is wild, man. This is wild. Stacey can't be trusted. She absolutely cannot be trusted. So here's the deal, family.
She can't be trusted at
Systemic
all.
issues within Mississippi's methodological death investigation system has frequently led to allegations of suspicious deaths being overlooked, misclassified, or inadequately investigated. See, Mississippi relies on a mixed system where elected county coroners who are politicians and are not required to have medical degrees work alongside the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office. Critical errors and massive delays have repeatedly sparked national outrage. What does this tell us? This tells us Mississippi really don't give a damn about these type of things. They really don't care about solving murders and giving people, giving families, grieving families, closure, at the very least to tell them the manner of death in which their loved ones departed this earth. That's cold-blooded, man. That's cold-blooded.
I ain't never seen no mess like
Y'all
this.
know who that is? That's Emmett Till. Emmett Till was a 14-year-old boy accused of whistling at a white lady who later on her deathbed revealed that she lied. But even if she did lie, that should not have constituted a death sentence for a little boy or anybody because somebody whistled at this hussy, this lying hussy. So what? You know, it just really blows my mind how some white dudes go overboard with their so-called protection of white women, while at the same time beating on them and RAPing them and marginalizing them. It amazes me. So it's not that when they do that, that they have this like deep love for white women. It has more to do with possession than protection. That's really what it's about. It's possession, not protection. Stacy, come on now.
Yeah.
It's time for Stacy to get on up out of there, don't y'all think?
Yeah, time for it to go on.
Stacy is not qualified to do the job that she was hired to. Well, you know, let me back up. Damn, I keep forgetting it's Mississippi. They're cool with these type of results. Mississippi don't care. The state of Mississippi don't care. The elected officials, they don't care. They're cool with these type of results. Mississippi is still burning after all of these years. Mississippi.
Y'all look at all her little equipment and stuff on the table. Look at her. You know, got a little TV in the back here. You know, I guess that she looks through a little TV for whatever the reason is. You know, but I did hear somebody one day did say on their platform they hire all kind of people. You ain't gotta have no degrees or nothing to do stuff like this. What kind of junk is that? That is crazy work. Yeah, it's time for
Mississippi is still the gum at the bottom of the American shoe.
Hey, Latte.
Stacy, you got to get on up out of here. She got to go. These are just the cases that have come forward. These are just the cases we know about. Imagine how many hundreds of others.
That's true.
That she did an incomplete job of. Wow. No more talk.
You're right, y'all. We don't know. We will never know. Like how many more cases did she do, and people don't know nothing about it. That is so true. He right. I agree with him on that. Hold on. It was another one. Let me see.
Willie D Live.
He just did this one like 2 hours ago. Rest in peace, young king. God bless you and your family.
What's up, family? So as you know, Nolan Wells' body was laid to rest on yesterday. A lot of interest in the case. The public wants to know.
Those
Public
people
got
are
questions.
heartless, yes.
And law enforcement don't seem to have any answers. The public has a plethora of questions, but it seems like the media, like mass media, are holding their disco balls on Nolan Wells' case. Yeah, it's like they don't want to talk about it. Very few outlets actually reported on this case. Very different from when Charlie Kirk,
Nope. People like that,
one might
no,
call
they're not
a
humans. Absolutely.
really horrible person, got way more coverage. Now, I understand that every case is not going to be worthy in the eyes of journalism to be breaking news and, to be plastered everywhere, right? But this is one of those cases that you cannot deny. This is not to minimize the other lives that have been lost and in very similar fashion, right? But my point is that this case is all the way out there and the media knows about it. And they're really not saying anything about it. I'm talking about mass media. Salute to the YouTubers, TikTokers, people on Facebook, Instagram. You're sharing, you're making videos, you're bringing awareness. Salute to y'all. But mass media, this is why I do not trust them. I do not trust mainstream media. I do not trust it at all because they have always
Because they don't
been
put
in
the right
cahoots
information out. They be lying.
with the government to make Black people look bad and to taint Black people's image.
Yep.
They really don't really value the lives of Black people. I don't care how many hosts they allow to come on their platforms and have a show. You ain't gonna fool me with one or two Black people up in the front talking problem. That's not gonna get it for me, Action speaks louder than words. So a new video has been obtained by TMZ. And it shows most people are saying is Nolan Wells just 2 hours before his disappearance. Let me put it like this. About 2 hours before his friends abandoned him. Check it out. Very short video, but that does appear to be Nolan Wells.
It was a lot of people out there that day.
Follow the arrow right there in the center of the screen.
A lot of people was out there.
Now that's video that was sent to the news. And sent to law enforcement. Law enforcement had that video.
That's
they
what
were
I
sitting on that video.
understand. Like, why didn't nobody see
Like,
nothing with all of
at least
people?
a couple of weeks now, right? The video was sent to law enforcement by somebody who was there, who recorded it. They sent it to law enforcement, and law enforcement has had it for the past week. And they have said nothing about it. They haven't even told us what they make of it. Like, what do you make of it? They haven't given us any answers. I suspect that law enforcement is going to do the usual. This is Mississippi law enforcement, by the way. I mean, it's American law enforcement. Don't get me wrong. Don't think it can't happen to you, New York. California, don't think it can't happen to you, Chicago. Don't think it can't happen to you. Okay? But anyway, fam, here's another video that has recently came out where a Nolan Wells sighting likely occurred. So this is supposed to be Nolan with the girl Katie. Really quick video, but you can see that that's Nolan and
When
Katie.
is this true, y'all?
Allegedly.
You think that video true, y'all? What y'all think?
On Horn Island. I watched the funeral on yesterday, and funerals are nothing, like really pleasant about funerals at all to me. But when there's a situation where a young person dies in any kind of manner, but especially when they're murdered, and then especially when they're murdered by their friends or so-called friends, justice got to come, man. You got to get justice one way or the other. This is Nolan's mother speaking at the funeral and reminding people to never forget Nolan Wells. Y'all hear me, mainstream media? See, whether y'all report on it or not, it ain't really gonna make
Video.
no difference, because
Could be
with all of the people. So
I
now
heard
what?
that California.
That each of you keep Nolan's memory alive.
Oh Lord, for real? Hey,
Hold his
Karen.
close in your heart. Share his stories and never stop saying his name. As long as we continue to remember him, his light will continue to shine through us all. Nolan, we love you. We'll continue to fight for you.
Nolan, we love you. We'll continue to fight for you and all of our others, young soldiers, all of our soldiers, period. Because, I think somewhere along the line, these white kids who are demonic.
He said demonic.
Somewhere along the line, they get initiated, and somebody tells them that killing a black person is a rite of passage. Harming a black person is a rite of passage. Saying an N-word out loud till you're satisfied. It's a rite of passage. It's something that, you have to have if you're going to maintain power and control. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it for the race.
Because you got to be careful.
Really
People will try to take power and control over you in a heartbeat.
Meeting or something at some point.
And you would think they really care for you,
or
but
it just
they don't.
becomes a thing that maybe it's something that they just witnessed growing up. And mammies and their pappies teach them that they are superior, that they are the dominant race, and they are supposed to at all times have stewardship over black people. Not everybody else, just black people. Not everybody else, just black people. In this country, they have a penchant to single out black people out of all other groups, just black people. You would think that this country would be on some type of apology tour with black people. You would think that they would be trying to make amends for all of
you
the
live in
wrongdoing.
California?
But instead, it's like they got a think
Lisa.
tank or something where every 5 to 10 years, they come out with a new initiative to try to keep black people down. Yeah, like they've been mandated to do this. Like out of all other people, like no.
Thank you for the donation, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Has contributed more to the so-called greatness of America,
Yes,
to
I
the
look at
building,
those answers
to the
before.
power structure
Okay, got
of
you.
America. No
Got you.
single group, point blank, period, has contributed more. You would think America would feel forever indebted.
Anybody
No.
new to the channel?
No, we get
My channel not
stop complaining.
monetized, but I have a link at
Go
the
back
bottom,
to
pinned at the
Africa.
bottom. If anybody, ever want to donate
All
to
of
my
these
channel,
type of
you can
things,
hit
right?
the link and you can just
We
follow
get
the
all of that
directions
ignorance.
and you can donate whatever you want
That's
to
what we
my
get.
channel.
We get the slap in the face. That's what we get. We get them allowing others who ain't did nothing, who ain't put in no work, to come over here and day one have it easier, be afforded resources and accessibility like that. America has an anybody but black mentality. One of the reasons America's been
Maybe
able to
we'll
get
get
away
some
with it
answers
is
tomorrow,
besides,
y'all. When the press conference,
the
I don't know what time it's going to be.
so-called
I'm not sure.
polite
I don't know if it's going
society,
to do, be
not
on when
doing
I'm
anything
live
about
or
it and
maybe
not
before I go live.
stepping up and being
But
vocal about it,
I find it, I will
is you
share
have
it
other
on my
countries
live.
out there who are
Because y'all know I
cowards
go
and who
live
are
at
afraid of
12:15
America,
Eastern
and then the
Standard
other
Time.
ones are just as demonic as America. And so in their mind, it doesn't affect them, so they don't care what happens. So black people are the only people in this country who do not have a government
of this right
to protect them, to look out
Right.
for them. If somebody from another country is murdered in the United States, it could cause an international crisis. And this is why they rush to make it right when they kill, or they ain't got to kill. If they harm an Asian person, they rush to make it right. They rush. Even you harm
so much going on in
Australia,
this world.
they rush.
Like I don't understand like how the cops don't find like this is like not normal because this is going on too much. Like how could you just always rule this out what y'all want to paint the picture to be? You know what I'm saying? Not even doing y'all investigation. Okay? All this can't be the same thing that someone is taking their own self. Y'all know what I'm saying? It can't be the same case each and every time. Okay? Instead of doing the right thing, get deep into the investigation. Like I said with Nolan case, them phones should have been confiscated. That boat should have been took in. They should have had warrants to the social media sites. All of that. All of that. They was giving people time to get rid of whatever. Okay? They say the boat had a mechanical problem. Did y'all identify that? Did y'all identify that? I never heard not one person came out here and said, yeah, the boat had a mechanical problem. This is what we found that went wrong with the boat. I never heard that. If they said that they sent someone to rescue Nolan and them because the boat was sinking, where is that? Where is that video? Or where is that voicemail? Did you put that out? Who went and got them? Bring them back to safety? Because that would be documented also. What time did they reach there to get the boys? How long it took them to get out of the boat? How many people was on the boat? Did y'all see Nolan when y'all got there to rescue these other people from the boat? It's still a lot of unanswered questions. A lot. You know? That's just how I feel.
Rush. And when the Australian woman was killed by the police officer in Minneapolis, the black guy in Minneapolis, she called the police because she heard some noise for suspicious noises. And they pulled up. She spooked them when she knocked on the window. The police officer shot her. They gave 20 years like
Girl,
that.
I know that's right.
There was no
I ain't mad at you.
There was no need to get justice. Settled
Yeah,
just
you
like
gotta be
that.
careful, and I
think
ain't
she
mad
had the
at
money
you.
within a year. $20 million. Well, the family had the money within a year. $20 million. But he had 20 years in prison, just like that. None of that old
That's
I
true.
feared for
Justice
my
for
life
just
worked with
us.
the brother.
Yes.
He couldn't use that defense. I feared for my life. None of that. You didn't see the police apologists
company has
in
came out
droves
and
protesting
did the
on
emergency
behalf of the
call
officer.
was
They wasn't
canceled.
saying, hey, you know,
What do you mean the emergency call was canceled? Mean they didn't get nobody to come rescue them off the boat? Because the boat was sinking. I'm just saying the boat was sinking. They didn't send nobody out there to help them. Because from what I heard on a video, I forgot which one where I heard it at, that they did send someone out there to pull them into shore. So if they did, who was the person? What time they got there? How many people did they see on the boat? Did they see Nolan on the boat? That's my question.
it's bad that happened, but you know, I can see, you know, I would have been scared too if I was a police officer. You know, she spooked him. How did he know it wasn't some
You right, sis. They probably didn't need no help because they probably was lying.
criminal? That's, you know, how they got an excuse for everything. They got an excuse for every single.
All right, let's go to. I always felt like it could have been a lie. Well, I know it was a lie when they kept saying when the caller asked that boy, was everybody okay? He said, yeah. Then the caller asked him, was everybody on the boat? And he also said, yes. Why didn't you tell that lady the truth that Nolan was not on that boat? Because you know Nolan was not on that boat. You know she was not on that boat. You know that. You know that. It was one. There's so many of y'all because I can't play them all at once. But I want to find that one with the father. I want y'all to see that father one, Katie Daddy. Shit. That's the one I was trying to show y'all. That Katie. Oh, y'all, this I want y'all to see this one. Hold on. Because this one here was hilarious.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? We got the great Teslin Figaro. Hard checking officer. White people can't do no wrong because they're perfect and they give me money. But black people are always doing wrong, so I throw them under the bus every chance I get. Tatum for talking down on Nolan Wells' parents. Yeah, fam. Yeah, he went there.
Yeah, this guy he could to play. Yeah, he did. He took it to another level. Right? So y'all just listen.
Check it out.
Let's start with you. Just from a law enforcement perspective, what do you make of the timeline, the lack of answers, what maybe occurred here?
She's going to give him to him raw.
Well, I think the first thing is that these activists came in and brought in information or lies about circumstances to make people question. The law enforcement officers have already done an autopsy. They've already investigated. There's no sign of foul play. And one thing that's very interesting that I just found out recently is that it wasn't a situation where you have Nolan Wells and four of the.
Let me just stop right there. If the law enforcement already did their investigation, there's no sign of foul play. What are they investigating, and what are we waiting on?
Yeah, you know what?
Because I thought we was waiting on them to complete their investigation.
Sometimes too, because
but leave it up to bootlicker number one.
Because you know, I do have a heart, and I have children. I have grandchildren. I have an 18-year-old granddaughter just went off to college July the 5th. She's only there for the summer, then she comes back next month on the 5th, and she goes back for good in September. And I always pray for her. I have another granddaughter that got one more year, and she's going into 9th grade. She's full of pain, her and her sister. and she wants to go to a boarding school with all girls. Me and her mom talked about it. She said she thinks she'll like it. She did applications, they reaching back out to her. Um, I don't know how I feel about it, but I don't want to discourage her because that's what she wants. She get to come home on weekends. I don't know. I have mixed feelings, but one thing I will say, I always want the best for my grandchildren. I always want them to be happy. I want them to be successful, you know? So, I don't know. I just have to always pray. My granddaughter that's in college now, I make sure every other day I text her. I text her yesterday to make sure she was okay and everything. Um, she always talked to her mom when she got to school. Well, her mom be at work, but she still texts her. So, always keep them in my prayer. And my granddaughter, she wants to be a cancer doctor. She want to take care of cancer people. That's what she got her mind made up. That's what she wants to do. And she's going to start taking classes for that in 8th grade. But her dad and mom have to pay for that. And then when she get in 9th grade, they don't have to pay for it. But we don't want to stop our kids and our grandkids from being successful. But at the same time, we want to make sure they're in a good place. We want to make sure they're safe and things in that nature. If y'all know what I mean. So, yeah.
The investigation is ongoing. I mean, the investigation has concluded.
Kids at an island. There's thousands of people there. There's hundreds of different boats. So him staying behind while some of his other friends went back to the mainland wasn't that suspicious. I really wish that the family would focus on Nolan Wells' life, focus on the investigation, and let the police do their job instead of.
Well, the police ain't doing the job. That's the damn thing. What they done? Nolan mother and father did more than what the police done. And then y'all gonna sit and talk about Bill Crump and Al Sharpton, but if they wouldn't have got involved, they probably wouldn't have got the little bit of stuff they got. They had to track the phone down. They had to go to the car. I mean, come on now. You saying that because who you are? Let's be real.
And into this situation, and it's completely unnecessary to be there at this point.
So, Teslin, you've worked with Ben Crump. You have valuable insight into how he operates. You're not speaking for him tonight, but what do you think about the timeline and whether it determines whether Nolan was still alive before the boat left the island, like his friends insist?
Yeah, thank you, Katie. I'm speaking as a mom, of a 19-year-old. In the same way Officer Tatum wishes that people would not insert lies, I wish Officer Tatum would allow the independent investigation, to run its course. You don't know, Mr. Tatum, what has been talked about in this investigation. It has not been complete, and people have not came forward to say what happened with Nolan Wells. So I actually do believe his parents when they said that they taught their son to leave with whoever you came with. So for you to make the accusations that is a lie when they're burying their son on Monday is, quite frankly, to be disgusting, Officer Tatum, and I'm ashamed.
That's really a mic drop, but we'll go on.
I hope that you're paying attention to this, because there's a lot of information that have come out, and I've gotten firsthand knowledge about some things that have happened on that island, and people are going to be ashamed of themselves for sitting here lying and pushing racism in this circumstance.
Well,
I don't know what happened, but I do know.
Well, what you got, won't you put it out so we can see it then?
I'll let you finish. I'll let you speak. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying I got firsthand knowledge too. But as we're talking about right now, as we're talking about right now, you made the accusation that there were lies, that race has been interjected. Like I said last week, if people don't want people to speculate, then investigate. So this
let's talk about that. Let's talk.
Watch how the host switch it up now. Oh man, she angry. Teslin just struck a nerve, and she's about to let it be seen. Now, remember, fam, when you're on these type of platforms, You're not supposed to be biased unless you work for Fox, right? The rest of them try to pretend at least that they're being objective. You know, they're being fair and impartial. But clearly you can see where Katie's mind is.
About that topic, because Ben Crump is notorious and has been criticized by people who have used him in the past for their cases of being an ambulance chaser, pushing a narrative that fits the racial lens that he wants it to. You've talked about this on your podcast and how you believe young Black men are unfortunately killed every single day. And people like Ben Crump and Al Sharpton.
Well, the thing is, nobody said that about Ben Crump. You know, when he did all those other cases, like in New York, where that man got unalived by the police, you know, for selling cigarettes outside of the store. I know y'all remember that because that went viral everywhere. Okay, but now that he's came in with Nolan, it's like now everybody want to call him what they want to say about him. Bad. They want to say bad things, put him down, you know. But when he was doing other cases, didn't nobody say things about him like that. But now all of a sudden he, you know, on Nolan mother in them case, now they want us to call him ambulance chasers and all this stuff like that. You know, that's kind of insane to me.
Just highlight certain stories that benefit them rather than the families.
Before he answered that, because he answered it with the regular old white supremacist talking points, right? Let me say this. Ben Crump is a civil attorney.
Facts.
His job is to get justice in the form of monetary compensation. Right. That means he go get the money.
Right.
He is a money man.
Thank you.
And he should not be ashamed of being a money man. And he should not be shamed for going to get.
Because if he wasn't a money man, why would he want to be an attorney? What do you think? Duh. Just like defense attorneys, what are they? You're going to call them money men? They're not going to represent you free. You got to give up that money.
The family financial compensation. They only do this to Black lawyers. Even when you have white lawyers who stand up and go get the money for Black families who are victims of the system or some type of injustice, they do not call them out. They only call out Black lawyers. I wonder why. They only call out the Black activist. I wonder why. I know you uncivilized mutts. You can't get nothing over on me. I know you. When you start talking about Ben Crump and Al Sharpton and being on the scene and helping Black people and this, you tell me everything I need to know about you. That host, Katie, I know everything about her. That was my first time ever seeing her. And now I know exactly who she is. Yeah. Why would you be upset? Why would you have a problem with anybody trying to aid the family, even if you personally don't like them? Why do you have a problem if the family said, we want y'all to help us? If the family accepts their help and you really care about the family, the grieving family, why would you try to add to their grief by disparaging people who are helping them?
Right, absolutely.
It lets me know everything I need to know about you. You don't give a damn about the family. You don't care nothing about that grieving family. So stop all the faking.
Let's keep it real. This is all about money. Benjamin Crump would never show up to a kid's funeral or say anything about a kid that's killed by another Black kid. But if there's an opportunity to interject racism into a situation where there's no evidence of racism, Benjamin Crump will be there to do it. What is his end goal? He's not a criminal attorney. So he's not going to help the family get justice on a criminal level. He's a civil rights attorney. You don't need a
And
civil
that's what
rights
he's doing,
attorney
his
in
civil
a
rights
case where
attorney
you're
job.
wondering if the investigation is going right for your son, unless
Again, so
you believe
excuse
this
me,
has
let-
something
let
to
me-
do with
President,
racism.
let him finish, and then I'll let you talk. Okay, let him finish his point, and then I'll
Well,
let
he's
you
going on a
respond.
diatribe, so
No,
let's
no,
No,
he's
go
not.
ahead. Go ahead.
He's
Go ahead,
speaking,
young
and I'll
lady.
let you respond as soon as he's done making his point.
Katie, I'll let the young lady go. Go ahead. I would love to hear what you got to say to that.
Go right
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you, Officer Tate. Thank you. Well, let's just once
She's
again
very
speaking about
professional, I
things
can
that
say
you don't
that.
know about. Katie, you set it up with talking about Ben Crump being notorious for race baiting. I could name a couple of things that Officer Tatum here is also notorious
I love
for.
it
So
too,
let's be
sis.
careful on how
Yes.
we.
We don't need these
And
personal
let
attacks.
me. I'm gonna finish my statement. I'm gonna finish my statement, and let me also correct you on something else, Mr. Tatum. When you said Ben Crump would never show up for a black kid that was murdered by a black kid, my cousin Jordan Turner, who was 19 and was murdered by another black kid that also went away with his friends and never returned home. Guess who showed up? Attorney Benjamin Crump. I know you're looking confused. See, this is why it's
No,
important
was
that you.
that related? Was that related to black people? Was black people involved in his death?
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, that's
And they
one.
were convicted, and they were
That's one
convicted.
case.
And we didn't hear about it
And they were
plastered all over the
convicted of
media.
murder.
That's a
So
big
see,
difference.
this is why you don't know. This is why you should speak of what you know and not what you heard. So again, when it comes down to Nolan Wells, I ask that we use this time to ask people to come forward and speak about what they know.
Now, y'all, yesterday I seen a video on Instagram that he said, the same guy, right? That he went to Mississippi and spoke to those boys, and he got proof that everything was put out was a lie. I seen this last night. This is what he said. That same man. Okay? Put it out. We want to see it. Whatever it is, put it out so we can see it. You say you went there, you got proof of everything, put it out. Because that's what it's about. It's all about that paperwork. If you got it, let us see it. Yes,
I ain't got no
Nolan.
problem with that. When it comes to being Crump at this time, we ask that people come forward and speak about what they know. Why you got a problem with that? Why the hell would you just blindly trust law enforcement? Knowing the history of law enforcement all across this country, not just with hiding, covering up cases involving black people wronged by white people, but also even white people wronged by white people. Why would you just blindly trust law enforcement?
Oh, yeah, we know he lying, Cameron.
Law enforcement is not that credible.
They're not. They're liars.
Go to Google right now and look up any police department in this country, and you'll see like a 1.5 star, a 1 star, 2 star. I don't think there's one out there that has a 3-star rating. Law enforcement, people don't trust it. All around the country. But Officer Tatum, he's a former officer. He used to work in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
You know
yeah.
what Tucson, Arizona's makeup is, racial makeup is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he's one of those who thinks that because he works in close proximity of white people, that he's one of them. And this reminds me of this case of this black dude in Texas. I can't remember the small town. It was up near Dallas, who injected himself into a physical altercation where a white dude was beating up his white girlfriend. The brother stepped in and tried to break it up. The white dude turns on him. They starts to scuffle. Not no hard, knockdown, drag out fight, but a scuffle. And the police shows up. They break it up, and the police trying to stop the brother walking off. He trying to stop him, so he shoot him, he gun him down. Because he wouldn't come to him. That same brother was acting like he wasn't one of us. He was like, yeah, all lives matter. You know, they're always making it about race. They always making it about race. And then he had his N-word moment. And it's going to happen to Officer Tatum too. It's probably already happened to him. But the thing with these bootlickers are that they're in so deep that they can't come back. Who was that? Was that Parliament? A Funkadelic said that. So that's Officer Tatum. His soul is sold. So he has nowhere else to go. So he's found a little niche for himself to go get the money, you know, because if you really pay attention, and I probably shouldn't be saying this because I'm sure there's a aspiring coon out there who's going to hear this and run with it. But hell, I'll take my chances. If you are Black and you speak against the Black community and you don't see any flaws, you never highlight any flaws of the white community, you will be rewarded financially by white people. They will give you tons of money. They'll give you tons of money because they will accept anybody who would further their agenda of white supremacy, i.e. Clarence Thomas. Talk about one of the greatest coons ever. His coon career is damn near unmatched. That is a career coon. I'm talking about career coon. He ain't never once voted affirmatively for Black people. Not once. They put him in, they knew exactly what they had when they put him in. This is why we have to pay attention and adhere to that saying, all kinfolk ain't skin.
All right, y'all, we're going to hit this one. This will be my last one for the day. So let's go to this one. Hold on. Let's see. I did run over time.
I can't deal with Carly either, and I don't even have ears.
Petting.
Hold on, let me. Y'all can donate if y'all like. This will be my last one for today.
Reporting live from Myers Club, Fright Plus News. I'm John Abba.
Normally, when a body's been floating, you know, you'll see some bloating. I'm trying to think of the most respectful way to say it. The body did not seem at that height to be disproportionate to the way it should look.
Continuing our coverage on the case of Nolan Wells. On Monday, Wells's family, friends, and supporters would send off the 18-year-old who has taken over headlines after he reportedly go missing on July 4th.
Oh, no, he
during
don't
a trip
hold
with
back.
friends to
No,
a Mississippi
not at
island.
all.
Now, after a 2-day search, Wells's body would be mysteriously found washed ashore in the same location. To note, one of the biggest conversations that need to be answered for many have been, what are his autopsy results and how was the condition of his body? For those who watch Wells's service, they would notice that the family decided to not go with an open casket, drawing in more speculation if the condition of his body showed any signs of foul play. Now, while many would view his service from across the nation, Wells's rescue and ultimately body's condition would continue to be a conversation by one of the last people to see his body. During a new interview with TMZ, Cajun Navy's Brian Trasher would go on to stun viewers when he would share what he saw when Nolan was finally found. According to Trasher, who has been a part of the Cajun Navy for nearly 10 years, way up from his vantage point, Wells's body did not appear to be bloated like most drowning victims he's used to seeing.
We were coming back up north towards the northwest tip of Horn Island when we noticed there were boats in the center of the island where there's a lagoon tip. And then when we got closer, we noticed there were 2 boats already parked in tandem on the beach. That was strange. It was a Monday morning. It was obvious they weren't fishing. So we descended and to about maybe 450 feet, 500 feet. And we could tell it was law enforcement boats, law enforcement personnel. And then I noticed that there was what appeared to be a body right at the shoreline, laying face down. The one thing I'll say about the condition of the body, and again, I want to stress very, as much as I can, that I'm at 450 feet in the air. But normally when a body's been floating, you'll see some bloating and whatnot. He wasn't in the water that long. The water temperature was high. He has a low body mass index. Normally, we'll look for a body to pop up on about day 4, but we knew it was possible he could pop up as soon as day 2, and this was day 2. I'm trying to think of the most respectful way to say it. The body did not seem, at that height, to be disproportionate to the way it should look. Now, I could not get a good look at his face, so I was really looking at, his back of his legs, back of his arms. And so that was my vantage point. I want to stress to everybody that that's not an ideal vantage point. And plus, I'm flying at like 90 knots, so I'm going pretty fast.
Now, as mentioned by Trasher, a drowning victim typically begins bloating after some time in the water, caused by bacteria inside the body producing gases. It is from the buildup of gases that causes the torso and other tissues to swell that often lead the body to rise to the surface. Now, here's where it gets interesting. According to research, bloating typically begins in warm water, 25 degrees Celsius or higher, around day 2 or day 3, and usually takes longer in cold water. Now, Wells's body was found on day 2 since he went missing, so that timeline aligns. But again, according to Trasher's vantage point, the condition of his body did not align with what many may have expected, because upon research and looking up the water temperature on Horn Island that day Nolan went missing, as well as July 5th and 6th, the water was considered warm to hot, meaning that a drowning victim should definitely show signs of bloating in those conditions. Now, to Trasher's point again, he did say he was flying above when he saw Wells's body, but his admission has caused some to add to the speculation of what really happened. In the comment section of his interview with TMZ, one user would go on to say, "Sounds like he was placed in the water that day," while another would write, "Definitely dumped overnight." Now, those two comments seem to reflect some people's feelings who believe foul play was involved, that Wells was somehow returned back to the island after allegedly being fatally attacked. Before his interview with TMZ would come to an end, Trasher would also go on to admit that he found it interesting that Wells's body would end up right where he was last seen.
It seems like what happened was he was carried north, which indicates to me that he might have got caught in a rip current, and it carried him north. And then as the tide slacked and the current changed back to a southward heading, it carried him right back to the beach. The only thing that really stood out to me that I was not expecting is that he washed up very, very close to the last spot where he was seen alive. I wasn't expecting that.
Now, going back to Wells' funeral service on Monday, at the end of it, Wells' parents and team will continue to spearhead their message of getting justice for Nolan, and they would host a press conference to answer questions. Now, it is during this press conference that Representatives Ben Crump will take a moment to call out the slow results they've gotten from the first autopsy in toxicology conducted by the Mississippi State Examiner, conducted on July 7th.
It's always troublesome to all of us when these investigations just take forever. I mean, 6 months to get a toxicology report back, to get an autopsy done, as if, the longer we let it go, the more people forget, other things happen, it gets swept under the rug. And so that's what's important, to have a timeline. And when you don't have that timeline, you start to say, oh, what Nolan Wells, what happened? I mean, I remember that case, but we got no answers.
Now, looking up, preliminary findings typically can be available within 2 to 3 days. And these findings usually outline initial observations and may provide an early indication of the cause of death. And as far as toxicology reports, they can take 4 to 8 weeks. Now, Crump would also share that they are anticipating to get back the first autopsy results before diving into their independent autopsy, since it could be an even better assessment of Nolan's body, given that the state medical examiner had his body much sooner to the time of his passing. Now, before the press conference would come to an end, Crump would go on to share that his team has even gotten a tip that Nolan was seen on the boat of the girl that he was allegedly last seen talking to. According to Crump, they just want the truth, no matter who's to blame.
There are people who are presenting videos, photographs that may show Nolan was on the boat with the person, Katie. We got to fully bet that I respect so much what my mentor, Reverend Al, said up there. We're going to go wherever the truth leads us.
As of now, Wells' parents continues to not have answers of what happened to their son that day.
I've seen the photos of his body
Boy, go to
on
sleep
the
because he looks
beach. I couldn't
sleepy.
see
What is wrong with
the
him,
face,
y'all?
the
He
neck,
look tired.
the arms, the hands for defensive wounds. I couldn't see if there were bruises to the torso. I couldn't see if the skull was fractured. None of that. I couldn't see if teeth were missing. But it seems to me we would know there had been blunt force trauma, stabbing, shooting, manual or ligature asphyxiation.
Look like
We
he
would
ain't
know
getting no
that.
sleep in a
But
long
yet,
time.
we know nothing.
And a now $100,000 reward on behalf of Al Sharpton and Tyler Perry has been presented in an attempt to expedite those answers. Let's talk about them more in the comments below. Now that we're hearing from one of the rescuers sharing how Nolan's body appeared from his vantage point, does it add to more speculation, or could Wells's death be an unfortunate drowning that went unnoticed? Reporting live from Hypers Club, Fight Plus News, I'm John Al.
Girl, what's wrong with him? Look like he ain't had no sleep in years. Like, boy, go to sleep. You shouldn't even been up there trying to talk to nobody looking like that. Like really? Baby. I'm on the friend of Nolan's mom. Oh, Stacy. Stacy, stay out of my head. I had that conversation this morning with one of my supporters. Girl, stay out of my head. It's just a lot of things I told y'all I don't say. But all he talked about was what? Yep, that's all he talked about. That's all he talked about, sis. That's it. We ain't want to hear all that shit. Look like something wrong with him anyhow. Baby, there's no way he drowned near that island. The water is $2 and no, but he doesn't. Yeah, I don't think so neither. I'm signed on her and both of her sons. You better say it, Scorpio. You better say it. You better say it. I had that conversation this morning. Yes, I did. Because how many times I told y'all people can be in your life for a long time, be your friend for a long time, and they will portray you. They are snakes. Yeah. Yeah. And right now I know she's grieving and she's at her vulnerable moment at this time right now, and that's understandable. But I hope God put before her eyes, I want her to pray and ask God to let her see all her snakes and ask God to show up and show out everybody that did not mean you no good, is not meaning you no good right now as you grieving for your son, and ask God to show you anybody that had anything to do with it when it comes to your son. Ask God to show you who's talking about you behind your back, that's making up false allegations against you. Yeah, show him up. Show him up. He look a hot mess, yup. Yes, Scorpio, absolutely. Her sons left Nolan on that land. Yep. At this point, they are all guilty until proven. Yes, yes. But I've been thought about that them sons and their mama. I've been, thought about that a little bit. I did. Because when things like this happen sometimes, y'all, you can't leave nobody out. Like, I'm just being for real. Like, everybody's going to be a suspect. Not saying they are, but sometimes it be the closest people to you that you think that one never portrays you, and those will be the ones. Look at the story I just shared with y'all. When, just like Nolan, those boys was friends with her son. And they took her son out. He never came back. He was found in what? The water, just like Nolan. And she said they grew up together. You know? Mm. Her and her sons. Yup. Wait a minute. Her and her sons. She said he didn't come back with us, meaning she was there. See, I don't want to say she was there because I can't confirm that. But one thing I will say that the mother Christina said she did call her, which is their mother, and asked, did the boys see was Nolan with them? And she said no. Now at that time, I didn't know the other brother was there neither. Hey, beautiful Queen D. Hello, how you doing? Good afternoon. Those was her words. The mother of the boys, Ray. Because if she was there, I don't know. Yeah. And you know what, y'all? Sometimes what people need to do, because this is what I do. I'm gonna speak for me. When you're telling a situation, when it comes to any type of story, I don't care what it is, you need to always specify what you mean by that. When I get on my platform and I say stuff, I always tell y'all, let me break it down what I mean. Because I don't want people to misinterpret me saying, well, Miss D said it like this, so she meant this. No, I did not mean nothing. Don't put words in my mouth. So let me break it down to what I meant. So that's why when I say something, I always come on and say, y'all, I said this because I mean it this way. This is what I mean while I'm saying this, because I don't want nobody to misinterpret my words. Now, if she, and I'm saying this to say, if she was not there, people would interpret that she was there because of what Ray said she said. So maybe she should have clarified it and said, well, I wasn't there, but this is what my boys said. I'm just saying. But that's what I think people should do. She told Christy at first that her sons was with her. Then on the interview, she said she was downtown. That's what I heard too. That's what I heard too. Yes. She said true. Yes, you have to break down what you're talking about because people, especially when you're on a public platform telling something, you have to make it specific what you mean by what you say because people can take your words and twist your words around. And then you got to come back out here and clear it up what you meant by what you said. So sometimes we have to think before we talk. Roy D, do you know and warns on the public towing company and a prep? Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know if that's true or not neither. Because y'all know I don't like saying stuff if I don't know it's true. I just say if y'all say something in the chat, I will say I did hear that. Now, what Scorpio just said a while ago, I can't confirm that because she did say that out her own mouth. So I can confirm that. Yeah. Miss Green, where you been? And Royal D. Hertel Kelly Tubman was on the run. Huh? Really? I never heard of that one. I don't trust her since. Yeah, I don't trust her neither, Karen. No. No. Mm-mm. Nah. Because, this is what people say. Well, whatever his name is, shit, Jason. They grew up together, blah, 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 blah. Right? Okay, yeah, we know all kids grew up together and shit. Kids have grown up with my kids, came out of school with my kids, and my kids would say, damn, I didn't even know they were that type of person. Some people that my kids came out of high school with is in jail for unaliving, robbery. My kids say, wow, I didn't know they was like that. Wow. People change over the years. So I said that to say don't never say what your child won't do when they're not around you. You just don't know. Oh, I got to catch up. Okay, Miss Green, no problem. So you just never know what your child would do. Also, when you tell a lie, you have to keep covering for the last lie, ending up forgetting that lie you told. Facts. 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 But I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I am like on the edge because I do really want to know what this autopsy report gonna say tomorrow. I'm just gonna think about it overnight, y'all, because I don't know what it's gonna say uh tomorrow. We I don't know, y'all. We just gotta be ready for whatever Ben Crump, gets back, what they found, you know. I don't know. I am I am on the edge to know. I ain't gonna lie about that. I'm definitely on the edge to know what was their findings of hold on, y'all. Let me see my granddaughter. Okay, I guess my daughter would see it. Okay. Okay. I'm just I don't know what the thing is gonna say, y'all. I don't know. I can just what do y'all think before I get off? What do y'all think the autopsy gonna say tomorrow? I don't know. Long as they had that body, they could have poured alcohol down. Oh Lord, well I hope they ain't do that. I hope and pray to God they didn't do nothing like that. And the mom filed yesterday to open. Yes, I was just talking to Open Book about it as I was live. She was telling me about that, Ray Ray. That's right, Miss D, because your grown middle son would not push me or my husband. Right, Miss Stacy. Right. I don't know what it's gonna say, y'all. I'm just I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna say. We just gotta pray. I don't know if it's gonna say that someone did something to him. I don't know if it's gonna say that he did drown. I don't know. I'm just speculating, y'all. So don't don't run with my words. I'm just trying to figure out what they will say tomorrow. Now, I'm not gonna say I find this strange because I knew this was gonna happen, and I said this early on when Bill Crump said that the Nolan body was going to, I think, DC for the autopsy. And if y'all can remember, I said, I guarantee you that Mississippi is going to wait for Bill Crump to come up with their autopsy before they say theirs. Didn't I tell y'all that? Didn't I tell y'all that? Because they want to see if Bill Crump autopsy going to match up with their autopsy. Now, we know that Bill Crump had to work closely with the detective for the grand jury thing. Because, that because something go to grand jury, it doesn't mean that it's going to be an arrest what grand jury do, they look over everything and see if it's a probable cause for an arrest. Then they get the warrant. Okay, let's arrest this person on this. Let's arrest this person on this. Let's arrest this person on that. So that don't mean it's going to be an arrest because grand jury is looking at it. They want to make sure it's enough evidence. They want to make sure it's evidence enough to arrest someone. So I just want y'all to understand that part too. So I said that they was gonna wait until Bill Crump come out with their autopsy. But I'm quite sure that Bill Crump, he's working close with the Mississippi prosecutor office, so he probably already touched base with them, turned over their autopsy, everything, probably don't fax it to him or whatever, and he's gonna come out tomorrow and state what the findings was on their behalf, and then Mississippi, they will come out on their behalf and say what they seen. Yeah. Oh yeah, they can tell everything about you. They can tell when you last pissed and shitted when you die. They can tell what you last ate. They can tell all of that. All of that. Once they do their autopsy, all of that can be seen. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. They can call out if you had steak, potatoes. Their last meal was at 5:05. That on this, and they ate steak, potatoes, broccoli. I'm just saying they even know the time of the last time you ate. They know all of that. It's sad, but I think they would cover up the pink people. Well, I ain't gonna tell you wrong about that. That's for sure. Maybe you will get the results back right. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. I believe. Let's see here. Get this away from. Get away. Okay, I'm trying to get this off. How does this come up on my thing? Go away. Oh my God, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Like how you come up on my screen? I'm gonna say I believe he will hold out on releasing his autopsy, but they will let Nolan parents know what their findings are. Okay. I ain't gonna say you wrong, Stacy, because I don't put none past them. You feel me? Nothing. I'm so late and I will have to watch the replay. Okay. Because now, y'all, when I get off my lives, I set my lives only for the strivers to comments because I'm getting a lot of negative backlash. So if you can't comment, that means you're not subscribed. So I want to let you know that. So every time I end my lives, I set it only subscribers can rewatch the replay and leave a comment. If you're not a subscriber, you can look at the video, but you can't comment. And I'm doing that because it's so many nasty comments they're leaving under my posts, and I don't choose to just talk about it because people are evil, So I try not. I try not to keep up with bad energy. That's what I say. I try. I'm just trying to keep up with bad energy, but they call me names and everything, y'all. So, that's what I'm doing now. So if you're not subscribed, you can only watch the replay, but you can't comment. Yeah, these people is just they crazy. Oh, they crazy, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, they crazy. They know what to say, boy. But some people bring them up on their screen and say stuff to them, but I don't want to do all that, y'all, because I try to stay positive for the most, and to help families get their stories out. I also allow people to come up on my panel to share their stories, because everybody family need a voice. Everybody family needs a voice, and that's why I got my platform. So I don't mind doing that, but I don't like the disrespect that comes with it sometimes because these people I ain't gonna lie, y'all. They are very disrespectful, and they leave a lot of disrespectful comments and stuff. So that's why now I said it for subscribers only. That's it. And they're not gonna subscribe to the channel, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do that, so they won't be able to comment. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what they're doing. Yeah, they was calling me all kind of names. Right, right. So yeah, so um, like like I said, now I don't know what time he gonna do the press conference, y'all. I don't know because I didn't see no time, so I don't know what time the press conference gonna be. I'm not sure, but y'all know I come live at 12 something Eastern Standard Time, so for the ones that didn't see it or whatever. And if you did see it, I still replay it and we can still talk about it, whatever time. Yeah, I got it, sis. I did get it, but I didn't see no time on it. Unless I missed the time. Yes, Miss Green. Yes. I'm glad I didn't see him. I will read their ass. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what I do, Karen? Before my good supporters do see it, I hurry up and delete it. Because what I do, I always go back and check my stuff. I always do that. Every now and then I log back in, I check, see who said what, and that's how I catch it. And sometimes I catch it as though like y'all wouldn't go back and forth with them. You know what I'm saying? I just go ahead on and delete the comments. So yeah, that's what I do. Cause you definitely get, I think it's between 12 and 12:30. I think, okay, well I'll be already on then, yeah. Yeah. I hope they scream it to something I can already get to when I'm on live. Um, the press conference. Mm. No, Miss Green, they did not. They did not. They had a closed cast. Nope. And we don't know why that they didn't show him. It could be various of reasons why. You know, I don't know, but nope, he had a closed cast. I thought it was going to be open too, but it wasn't. She had it really fixed up nice and stuff with his jerseys, pictures. Really, really nice. It was really nice. Yeah. So if y'all like to donate, my link is in the chat. I'm going to get on off of here. I already cooked my dinner before I came live, so I don't have to do that. And I guess that's it for the day, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed the commentary for the day. Okay, I'll already be live. Yeah. So I hope somebody would scream it that I can I don't know if Bill Crump got a YouTube channel or not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if he got one. But I already know Don Lemon. I already know he gonna scream it. Shit, I don't know if I want to mess with his live no more. That shit gave me a strike yesterday, y'all. Cause something they said at the funeral, and it messed with my channel yesterday. I got an email. Yes, they took that as like it's something I forgot what it was, but it's something that I think like Bill Crump or the other guy said, but YouTube took it in another way. But they didn't mean it like that, but they took it in another way. But then I was screaming the live. Yeah, I got the whiff of that. So I got to be careful what I scream now because If I get any more within 90 days, they're gonna block me for a week. So I have to be careful with that now. So I don't know. I don't know. That's why I tell y'all I have to go watch stuff before I stream it. I have to watch it. I have to watch the words, what the people are saying. You enjoy your day too, sis. You too, Karen. Yes, I love y'all. Thank y'all for timing in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yep. And I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna leave my coffee link in the description too, because I always do. Because sometimes when people watch my replay, they'll still buy me a coffee if I'm not, live. So, um, really, yeah, they got me yesterday. They got me. They got me. I appealed it. I don't know if it'll come through, but I did appeal it. But until the appeal come through, I can't get any more strikes, or I will, um, be blocked for 90 days. I can only watch Dawn for so long, Stacy. Yeah, I'm like that too, sis. I'm like that. Certain people I can't watch them long neither. So I get what you're saying. You know what? I don't know. Maybe because I ain't got the patience. I be like, you know what? I'm done. I be like, I'm done. Yes, I click off that shit so fast, child. So I get what you're saying, Stacy. I definitely get it. I definitely get it. So yeah. And y'all always welcome to come up. Y'all want to come up and speak on the topic. That because my link is not in the chat don't mean you can't come up, because my link can always be dropped. You're always welcome to come up and speak on any topic that I cover, you know. So yeah. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. You guys stay blessed, stay prayed up. Always remember to keep God first and talk to your grandkids, your kids, because we are living in an evil world today. It ain't too much love. I ain't gonna say all the love is gone. If you notice, Dawn did not cover Carmela. I did notice that, and I always wondered why. A lot of things I just don't say, but I did notice that. Thank you, sis. I did notice that. Yes. And I was in his chat the other day, right? And some of his chat was telling him to move on. Move on is other things that we can talk about. The chat was saying that to him. And he said, yeah, I know it's more things that we can talk about. I was like, okay, I love you and have a great day, rest of your day. You too, Stacy, baby. Yeah. Ooh, Lord, when your chat start telling you what to do, that's crazy. Ooh. But when you're getting all that bread from that chat, hey, you gonna you might do what they tell you though. Hey, because he get a lot of money over there. I ain't even gonna lie. Baby, that money be pouring in. Okay. So yeah. So maybe that's why, he probably say what he say, child. I don't know. But y'all have a good day. I love you guys. Thank you guys for timing in. I appreciate you guys so, so, so much. Y'all be blessed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Wow, that's the heck. I must jumping off before then. Troy Reed did not cover Carmelo. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I try to cover things. Sometimes it get overwhelming for me, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. You know. And I gotta catch up on some Carmelo stuff too. I really do. I gotta catch up on him because I heard someone say now he have a new attorney and stuff. And not a new attorney, the new judge. So yeah, I gotta catch up on some stuff. I'll probably do a video about that. Probably over the weekend I'll do a video about that. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, y'all. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Peace and love. Ray, I'm going to see what you sent me now.